traveler.
And we're back. If you're listening on YouTube, then we never went anywhere. But if you're listening on the podcasts, well, we're back with part 2. So let's try to hammer out the rest of these class cards, gentlemen, and then some neutrals.
All right, Hunter is up
and
next.
we should. Well, just wanted to note that comparatively, we were much more critical of Druid than Demon Hunter. We gave Druid a 1.66 average. Demon Hunter was a 2.87 average, and I think that their cards are strong, but I don't think they're that much stronger. So I think that we may be a little bit more hypercritical of classes that we understand more about.
Makes sense.
Fair enough.
So what class are we on now, gentlemen?
Hunter. All right, I'm chewing. Sorry, can someone take this?
Yeah, sure. So the first card we have is Zixor Apex Predator, which is a 3-mana 2/4 rush, and it has the death rattle of shuffle Zixor Prime into your deck. Now, Zixor Prime is an 8-mana 4/4 with rush, and it says Battle Cry, summon 3 copies of this minion.
Look, I don't see it being good like on its face, but I just want someone like Duin to break this card.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This is the card where I have little knowledge on this, but like this would be something where you potentially only run this card as the only beast, and then you like buff it with like the draw a beast type thing. But then again, like I don't know, you don't give those minions have rush, they don't have charge. That's the thing that hurts me with this, where it's like maybe this sees play, but those have rush and they don't do much. So yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning on towards the low side on this card.
Yeah, it seems like it's fine. But yeah, I think it's a 1. And Duin will make it look like a 4, but it's a 1.
Yep. I'm on the same boat with that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna say, well, maybe a 1, maybe a 2. I can't imagine myself playing it. Although I will say that Wild Hunter does have a lot of Death Rattle stuff, so it'd be very easy to proc the Death Rattle on the Prime or on the Apex Predator card. So you could potentially shuffle, several of these bigger versions into your deck relatively easily. But an 8 mana 4 like 3 8 an 8 mana 4/4 times 3. I don't know.
With so the issue that I have is that in most Hunter decks, like this is gonna take time. Shuffling a card into your deck. You know how you guys remember playing Elise Starseeker, right? Where you would shuffle the map and then you get the monkey and then all that stuff. Well, I mean, no, sorry, this is more like the other one, the one where you get the Ungoro pack. Right? That card was a control late game thing, and you won because you got a ton of value off of those. You got 5 full cards. And I think that the second guy, the Prime version is worth 2 cards maximum. So it's cost 8 mana rather than just 2. So
yeah, you're getting 16 with rush.
I think the only way this sees play is with another one of the cards that's actually going to come out this expansion. We'll get to that later, and I'll touch more on it. But I don't think this ever sees play when the sole reason of this is to get the Prime, because you have to be doing something else as well.
It is cool that you get 4 big minions, but probably not good enough. I'm giving it a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I love Hunter a lot, and I'm going to say a 2.
Okay.
Moving on.
All right, it's Rexar's daddy.
Rexmaster Leorox.
Yeah.
8 mana 5/5 legendary. Battlecry, summon 3 beasts from your hand. I think this card is gonna be busted.
Yeah, there's probably... So, here's what's going to happen, right? Your first beast is going to be Tundra Rhino.
Yup.
Your second beast is, I don't know. What's your second beast? Your second beast is
You don't even
what's the guy who doubles its attack whenever it takes damage?
Scaled.
Garzilla.
Yeah, so Gazrilla is the second one, and then King Crush is the third, and then you double Twin Shot. And then you
my
kill your
goodness.
opponent for like 300 damage.
Well, Danny was going to
lost
say,
Discord again.
you kill your opponent big time.
Wait, okay.
You make him go boom.
Right? No, hear me out though. I don't know that you even need Tundra Rhino for this. Like, maybe you play this in a more control top heavy deck, and you've got King Crush and 2 charged Devil Swords that can all go face, right?
Yeah, but I think you definitely play Tundra Rhino. I think Danny's right on the mark with it because it's a guaranteed consistent OTK, and you can actually get over armor with it. Danny, we finished your sentence because you cut off, and we said
Yeah,
that,
I cut off. Sorry, guys.
We said that you made their portrait go boom.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the idea.
You stole the
I like,
words from my mouth.
This card seems super fun. I think the setup is a little bit tricky, but I think it's definitely playable. I don't think it's necessarily busted.
I honestly don't think the setup is that tricky either because you got Stitch Tracker can help find some of the pieces. And is there another minion tutor?
Yes, well,
King
you even have the one that's coming out this set, Scavenger's Ingenuity.
Well, and isn't there
Which literally draws a beast.
Well, and isn't there something else, right, that says draw a card if it's a beast, reduce its cost?
Yeah, that's Pet Trick or something. Something like that. Yeah.
And there's King Zealot.
Yep. And I mean, those cards are high cost cards, right? You can just run King Crush will win the King Zealot joust 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I think this card actually will make an archetype out of itself.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
It can be an arena hunter too.
I'm gonna say a 4.
Yes.
Like this, the power level is very, very high. I don't think it's busted, but I think it's high. I'm gonna say a 4.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, archetype defining. So I'm giving it a 4+. Say what you will.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Next up is a 3-mana minion. It is an epic called Augmented Porcupine. It is a 2/4 beast with a death rattle. Deal this minion's attack damage randomly split among all enemies.
I'm giving it a 1.
I mean, you if you pull out some old Gadget and mechanics and do some hand buffing, then maybe. But we never do that anyways, and I don't know if there's a good reason to start now.
So the only place I see this having, so I like to repeat this a lot, but the most contested mana slot in Hunter is the 3-mana slot. So you need to be doing something spectacular in order to get in that slot.
Spectacular.
Now this is not spectacular, but it does have. There's another card, the Lion card, which we'll probably get to in a little bit, that it synergizes well with, but I really think that this is, if you would play this anywhere, it would be an Egg Hunter, just because you want to deal with killing off your minion and then getting it back again with cube or other things along those lines. You want to be able to proc this a couple times because 2 damage here, 2 damage there does add up over time. But I'm going to give this a 2 just because it has fringe playability in Egg Hunter.
I give it 2 thumbs down.
And I give it a 1 middle finger.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to say a 1 for me.
Yep,
but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, spiteful hunter incoming. Next one up is a 10-mana epic spell called Nagarin Slam. Summon 4/3/5 cleft hoofs with that attack random enemies. So this is our battlegrounds card here.
I have a theory to where this card could see play, and that is in a Zul'jin. It's Spiteful Hunter with Zul'jin, and the only spells you're playing is Nagarin Slam and Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
And it just seems like you could. Maybe it's still not good enough, but I like it. This is massive stats, right? It's you're getting 20 health and 12 attack split between minions, and they're going to kind of have initiative. I like this card. I don't think it's broken by any means. I think Call of the Wild. I think this card's better. It costs more, but I think it's more powerful. Obviously, it doesn't have the reach that Call of the Wild has, but I really like this card. What do you think, Nate?
I could see it in a Spiteful list. I could see it in a Reno list. It is like massive stats, and it's a potential board clear. I mean, I think it loses to like Reno Priest and Reno Mage, but like it seems fun. I like the idea of trying a Spiteful Hunter. From a stat line point of view, it's kind of busted, so I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to say for me it's somewhere between a 2 and a 3, but I think I'm gonna say a 3. I think that this is gonna be better than we originally led on to think it is.
So the 4 guys can attack face. That's one thing to note. They attack random enemies. So if there are no minions on board, they do go face.
Oh, that's right. I knew that before.
That gives a little bit of extra bonus points then.
Yeah, that's, you know what? When you say that, it makes me think Zul'jin is just such a good card with this card.
Yep, for sure. The one thing about this, though, I did try a Spiteful Hunter within the past week. I tried building one, and it was very slow.
What were your spells?
It was literally only Call of the Wild.
And it wasn't because you didn't have enough spells up top.
Well, I mean, so old Spiteful decks, you used to be able to get away with 3 of them, right? You were fine with running 2, at least in Priest, you were running 2 Mind Controls and whatever the...
Free from Amber.
The 8 mana Free from Amber. 1 Free from Amber would make the final list. You're fine with 3 of them, 3 for 2. It all worked out. I was doing this because I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just build a really aggressive version of the deck. And if I draw the 2 8-drops, it's like those 2 8-drops will be like... I'll hit them turn 8, turn 9, and win the game. So if I draw them, I don't really care. So, but I mean, I felt that it was just too slow comparatively, and that's when I ended up switching over to Even Hunter at that point because I wanted to get more aggressive. So I think for this meta, it's not worth it. But who knows? Maybe Ixar listens to your song, Craig, and it'll go through and it'll nerf Mage, and we'll be in a different place.
Yeah, he listened, but I don't think he's changing it anytime soon.
He was highly amused.
Yes. My girlfriend says the same thing after sex. Okay, so I'm... She goes, amused but never satisfied. I'm giving this card... I'm giving this card a 2. I really hope that it sees play, though, because I really like this card.
Yeah, that's a 3 from me, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
You better be cautious.
Yep.
I'm sorry for the. I found the Spiteful list that I was looking for. Okay, I'll send it over. Anyways, all right. Next card is a 4-mana rare spell called Scrap Shot. Deal 3 damage. Give a random beast in your hand +3/+3. This synergizes quite nicely with that legendary, actually, and potentially Zul'jin even.
It also synergizes really nicely with Knuckles. There's a Knuckles.
Oh my God.
There's a Knuckles.
That could be an OTK, right? Where you just buff Knuckles a ton and then have him attack.
Well, and Knuckles OTK actually it has the 1 mana. There's the 1 mana spell that says make one of your beasts attack a random enemy minion. So Duin actually has a couple lists right now that are Knuckle OTK lists that you can make Knuckles really big and then do like 25 damage to face. And with this expansion, you actually have a tutor to find Knuckles, and you have this to buff Knuckles. So I could see you running a deck where Knuckles is your only beast, and you actually do have a way to OTK on your turn without having to leave Knuckles up or play Tundra Rhino. So, and then that way you don't have to worry about Tundra Rhino taking those buffs either. So I really like Scrap Shot for that one deck. I don't see it seeing play many other places. So I'm going to give it a 3 because I do think that deck has some potential, and maybe a Beast Hunter would play this, right?
I like the idea. I mean, 3 damage for 4 mana is not unheard of. I mean, I think as a whole, hand buff mechanics are not super great, but
Mech Paladin is pretty good.
I'm sorry, in Hunter, I mean.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, I like the idea. I feel like I could make it work. I like a 3.
I think I overshot with my 3 though. I want to say 2. I'm gonna say 2.
It is probably a 2. I'm still gonna hope for a 3, but anyways,
So I'm gonna give this
a 5.
no. I'm gonna give this a 1. I think because you got to think about this for a second. The other card that we have that's 4 mana, deal 3 damage, gives us a 3/3 on the board.
Does that go face?
And,
flanking
no,
strike.
it does 3 damage to a minion. You're right. That is definitely correct.
So that makes a bit of a difference. But again,
that does make a bit of a difference. But I still would rather have a 3/3 summon than give a random beast in my hand +3/+3, because that locks me into either playing a combo deck like you're talking about, Craig, or I'm playing beast, like a beast deck in and of itself. Because you want to have at least one minion in your hand that gets hit by it, right, at all times. So
for sure.
Yeah. So I'm. You might have bumped me up from a 1 to a 2 on that one.
Yay!
I'll give it a 2 because it does go face, but yeah, it's literally because it goes face.
All right, let's move on. All right, next one up is a 2-mana rare spell called Pack Tactics. It is a secret. When a friendly minion is attacked, summon a 3/3 copy. I freaking love this card. When I saw, I was skeptical at first, but then I saw them test playing it, especially with the Death Rattle minion. This card can be nasty.
Yeah.
I think that this has the potential to be quite busted if played in the right deck. So for me personally, I think it's a 4. Cricket.
Hello, Nate?
Cricket.
Yeah, we lost you, Nate.
We lost you for a bit.
What? Oh, no, I'm here.
What did
Weird.
you rake it?
A 4. I think it's a 4.
Okay, cool.
That might be a little optimistic, but I think in the right deck, Hunter definitely has a lot of Death Rattle synergy, which is really where I see this paying off.
Yeah. So the thing that I see with this is because I've been playing a lot of Even Hunter recently, so that deals with a lot of secrets because you're playing the Fell Stalker dude, the 2/3 that pulls a secret from your deck when you use your hero power, Mad Scientist. So I played a lot of secrets recently, and I've tried out a ton of them. And my thought process on that is that, well, just getting an extra 3/3 for 2 mana is really good. That's why I'm running Bear Trap. But the fact that you have the ability to go through, and the minions that you play in Hunter typically have effects because they're doing something. They're either like poisonous, or they have death rattles, or mostly death rattles. Like, you could play this in an egg hunter, right?
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden you get an egg that has a 3/3 instead. And like, I think that this secret is very strong, and it forces your opponent to actually like start going towards your face, when, especially in a lot of these control decks, they can only mitigate pressure for so long, and like they have to clear your board or they lose. So
Can you
this is
imagine-
just giving you more refill?
Like, yeah, on any good Death Rattle, this would be kind of crazy, or you could use it like on the cube even.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
This feels busted to me. I mean, I don't want to call it a 5, but like for me it's a 4. I think.
I'm giving it a
on the
5.
4 train. Yeah,
I think it's a busted.
good
I think
card.
this is one of the best secrets, if not the best secret.
Yes, I think it's one of the better. I think Wandering Monster's still a little bit better, but I think this is probably a good second card now.
Oh, I think this is better than Wandering Monster, personally.
So the one thing you have to think about is that a lot of times in Hunter, you're going back and forth on initiative with your opponent. Who has a minion on board who's going back and forth. And Hunter has a hard time generating 2-for-1s, where they play something, kill one of their opponent's minions, and keep a sticking thing on the board. Where Wandering Monster comes in handy is essentially they go through and your opponent attacks with like a 2-1 token minion, and then your 3-3 comes in and eats that up, and then it becomes a 3-1 that stays on board because they were attacking face, a 2-for-1. This is very similar in that effect, but they have to be trading into your minion. So it's better against control decks, whereas aggro decks are going to ignore your minions, and then they're going to go face. So I think that against control decks is a little bit better, but against aggro decks, Wandering Monster is still a little bit better.
Yeah. Where I could see this being pretty busted also is, like you said, a more controlled deck, but what if we put this in a like a N'Zoth build or something, and what happens if this pulls a taunt, or like a death rattle taunt? It's got a lot of potential. I like it.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun card. So I'm giving it a 5, and I'm gonna be super excited wherever this card ends up.
Yep. All right. Next one up is a rare beast. It's a 4-mana 5/2 called Mock Nathal Lion. It has Rush, Battle Cry, choose a friendly minion, gain a copy of its death rattle.
Fun fact.
Side note. Yeah, you got it, Greg.
I was just going to say that this is Leone's championship card, the first female to ever win HCT, so this is pretty cool to see. Is that her name? It's Leone, right?
Yes, Leone, yep.
Very, very cool.
And then we have another fun fact. Hunter Ace, who won the prior set, did not get a card.
Oh, that's sad.
So they went through, and Cora went out on Twitter, and she said, we have something special in the works for you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, good. Because Firebat got
something
one.
for Hunter Ace.
So just for the people who don't know, so Firebat has the Fiery Bat, right? And who was the other? Was it Priest of the Feast? Was that the other one?
Yeah, Oskaka, because it's something about like cheesecake, because Oskaka means cheesecake in some other language.
Right.
Did Pavel ever get one? No way.
Pavel, there was Chittling Tunneler, was based off of, because you look at the flavor text, and then I think I don't remember the specific flavor text, but it's something the Chittling Tunneler puts its face to the ground, and it hears, want to cast a spell? I want to cast a spell.
Wow.
Okay. So this is a 4-mana 5/2 Rush Battle Cry. Choose a friendly minion. Gain a copy of its death rattle. This is a good card, guys. I think this is a great card.
What do you think? So this is a better version of Princess Huhuran, right? I mean, because
much, much better.
Because it's got because it's got the rush. I love this.
Yes, it does 5 damage immediately to something, and then you get the death rattle of something there. You can run this. So a 4-mana 5/2 rush is meh, but then all of a sudden it's like copying a death rattle and summoning the death rattle immediately is crazy. So this is where I was thinking that Augmented Porcupine and Zixer Apex Predator see play. If you're playing, because they curve out really well. Like the Augmented Porcupine, if you're playing aggro against aggro, all of a sudden the Porcupines, it becomes an incredibly threatening card because they can just lion you next turn, kill off a 5/5 with their 5/2, and then deal 5 damage to you.
Yeah.
Even this with even this with Nerubian Egg or Serpent Egg. So many.
Any egg. Yeah, this card is just nuts.
Yeah, I was going to say
5. This is probably the best card that they printed for Hunter.
I was going to say it is a little, it's reliant on you having a Death Rattle minion on board, but with Hunter, that's so easy to do, especially with eggs. I don't
even think it's that dependent, right? Because if you have to play this naked without a Death Rattle, that's still okay. I mean, I'm not putting this intentionally in my deck, a 5/2 rush. But I can play this for tempo if I have to clear a minion. I'm not super disappointed.
Yeah,
no,
I agree.
Not at all. I love it. This is just awesome. I'm playing it. All right, 5 out of 5. Nate, you give it a 5 too?
I'll give it a 5. Yeah, for sure. I think it's
holy
wonderful.
guys, 5 extra cross. High five.
Yeah, high five.
Social distance high five.
The last 5 we gave to everything was Kane's Sun Fury.
There's only going to be a couple. Like it'll be interesting later to sort through and see what our highest ranked cards were.
So I'll
Yeah.
take this card. This is the one that I was referring to for the Knuckles combo, where you got draw a beast, give it +3/+3. So this is cool. I guess the problem is that if you are looking for one particular beast, like you need to, this is gonna be dead, right? If you don't have it. So I wonder if this will work similar to Sense Demons. It'll give you like a worthless cat or something.
Wait, I got an idea. I got an idea.
Cat. I like that.
Wait. Okay, hear me out. Okay, what's the card? I don't know the name of it, right? It's the one that gives a minion +3/+3 and shuffles 3 into your deck.
Dire Frenzy.
There
Dire
you go.
Frenzy.
Okay. Stone Tusk Boar, Dire Frenzy, Scavenger's Ingenuity.
7 damage.
Oh my god, that's a 1 mana 7/7 charge.
Right? What could go wrong?
That is pretty cool. I think this card's just good in any deck that runs beasts, like high impact beasts, especially that deck that we were talking about with the 8 mana 5/5 that summons 3 beasts. Like I'm sure you'd be happy to get any of them off of this. I think this card's gonna see play in any beast heavy deck. I don't see why not. I'm gonna give this a solid 3.
I think it's a 3 from me too. Like I think that I mean I don't know how mainstream it is, but I think that somebody can definitely break it between Stone Tusk Boar and call the dogs. God, I'm so bad with the names.
Unleash the Hound.
Yeah, that's
Call the dogs. That's the budget card. That's like the dollar store version of it.
Anyways, yeah, but you could, between that kind of combo with Zul'jin even, like there's some busted potential. Say you regardless you get a one mana 1/1 with charge, you make it beefy and shuffle a bunch of copies into your deck. It could work. I don't know.
My thought on this is that this helps out any combo hunter a lot because rather than just it's more or less a tutor for the beast, right? You can run 1 beast in your deck and 2 copies of this, and that just increases the consistency of you hitting that beast. Whether or not you need to give it the 3/3, I think the drawing the beast is the more significant part. Because I mean the +3/+3 is going to be really good no matter which beast you hit, but like I think drawing a beast specifically is very manipulable. You can definitely go through and fix it so that I have 1 beast in my deck, and when I draw it along with X number of combo pieces, I win the game. So that's more or less where I see this taking flight.
Yeah, there's
I'm
also
gonna give it a
several.
3 as well.
3 makes sense. There's also several good rush minions with beast as well, so that could also be something.
Yep. All right. All right. Next up, it is Imprisoned Felmaw. It is a common 2 mana 5/4 demon that is dormant for 2 turns. When awakens, attacks a random enemy. I give it a 1. I think it is scrappy. I think it's slow, and I don't like what it does. I mean, it could attack face for 5 potentially, but I think in Wild it's just too slow and too clunky.
Dormant is horrible in Wilds. Just, I mean, we're going to reiterate that a lot. But the only time this is ever okay is on turn 2. You have to hit this exactly on turn 2. And otherwise, it's a dead card. So, yeah.
Yeah, and even on turn 2, there's certain decks that you're not going to be happy to have this awaken against.
Yeah, that's true. You go
Just
through
wait.
and you attack a Void Caller, right?
Yeah, or a Zaldress.
You wanted to keep the Void Caller not getting hit. You wanted to play around it. They need to trade into it. All of a sudden, you attack into it, so it saves them the tempo of getting the minion on the board.
Yeah, or eggs or anything really. Like, yeah. All right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah,
This is a
1/1.
demon hunter, right? So we don't need any demons in this hunter.
Nope. All right,
but we
last
could
up.
play Demon Hunter and anyway, sorry.
Oh no! So here's something that I just learned that was interesting though from a UI perspective. They took all of the hunter cards used to be a darker green, and they made them all like a lighter shade of green.
Oh, cool.
That's neat.
And then the demon hunter cards are like a darker green with like the bright green on the side.
But wait, what does any of that have to do with Ultimate Infestation? 'Cause you said from a UI perspective.
I'm sorry. That is user interface for the plebeians out there.
I'm here all week.
All right, our last minion here is Hellboard is a common one one mana 2/1 beast with the death rattle. Give a random beast in your hand +1/+1. So for our standard friends, this works. This buffs your porcupine. You're
Yeah, and
welcome.
for us wild
Not
boys,
for us.
we're not playing it.
Yeah, agreed. All right, I agree. I give it a 1.
Me too.
1.
Yep. So Hunter, we gave it. What are your estimates, boys? What do we think that
Maybe
Hunter came out as?
like a 2, maybe a 2.5.
2.7.
All right, we have a 2.56, 0.9 higher than Druid.
Wow. Yeah, no, that makes sense though, because they had a couple outliers there,
Yeah. Couple pretty good cards there.
and a
So
5
we
across
think
the
Hunter
board.
is playable this set.
Perfect.
All right, let's. We've been. I've been informed that we've been at this for 4 hours. All right. Next up is we're on to Mage. So the first up is the Prime card. It is Astromancer Solarian is a 2 mana 3/2 spell damage +1 with a death rattle. Shuffle Solarian Prime into your deck. The Prime version is a 7 mana 7/7 demon with spell damage +1 battle cry. Cast 5 random mage spells. This is something new. It says targets enemies if possible, which is something new and interesting. I
like this. I like this card in Reno Mage. Like, well, it's hard right now because of as long as Quest Mage is here, I don't think this card's gonna see play. But if Quest Mage gets nerfed one day, I think this card's good, and I do think this card is good. I just don't think it's good enough to stop what we're already doing.
So my thought process on this, right, is that sometimes we were playing Yogg-Saron's Puzzle Box as a board clear, right? That was 10 spells, and that affected every minion on the board randomly. These 5 spells that you get, so you're more or less, the reason you play this is for the second part of the body. And I think that 5 random mage spells targeting enemies if possible. Mage spells only do damage. There's no healing spells.
Yeah,
They're
you'll
all
draw
going to
cards,
deal
obviously.
damage. Yeah.
5
Well, I mean, you'll draw cards, but you'll play an ice block. But like if there is there's no like mage, heal this minion. It'll be like Flame Strike or Pyroblast a minion or any of that stuff. And there are a lot more mage spells that deal because these aren't any spells from any class. These are mage spells, so they are going to deal damage.
I could actually
If
see
they
this.
target it.
This could be quite interesting, especially. Can you imagine, like, spell 1 is a flame strike, clears the board, and then just does a bunch of fireballs and pyroblast to the face? Like,
Yeah, they could definitely do that.
I mean, it's not necessarily bad, right? I don't know.
No, it's not bad. I just don't think it's great. And right now, Mage is so good between its aggro deck and its quest deck and its Reno deck. And I don't think this slots into the Reno deck right now. Maybe. Like, I will put it in my Reno deck, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's optimal. So I'm going to give it a 3. I know it's playable. I just don't think it's the right meta for it.
I'm in the same boat. I think a 3 is okay.
So the 2 parts to this. The first one is that I think that this definitely would have fit in the old Reno Mage. Like, before it became a quest deck, I think that when it was like a value-generated deck, this hands down would have been the card for it. But the other thing you have to think about is you're putting this in as a 2 mana 3/2 that does something. That's a lot different than putting in a 7 mana 7/7 that does something into your deck. It's just that later on you have the chance to draw that 7 mana 7/7. So my thought process on this is like, imagine you're playing up against, I think I think it's a little bit more viable than you guys are thinking, because like you can hold on to this if you have to, and you're playing a control matchup against a druid as the mage, and you need to get in as much damage as possible. Then all of a sudden you play this and you get a 7/7 that clears the board and it's a body on the board.
Yeah. I like the idea of it. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna say a 3. Maybe it's better.
Yeah, I'm also sticking with my 3. Danny?
I'll go with a 3 as well.
Okay, so we're all close.
All right. Let's talk about Busted for a second.
Oh my god, this card. Evocation.
All right, can we just get this 5s and leave?
I think that's fine. I don't. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all night. But clearly, for our Quest Mage friends, like this card is just busted. The end.
Well, let's just read it quick. It's Evocation.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. For the podcast listeners, 1 mana legendary mage spell, Evocation. Fill your hand with random mage spells at the end of your turn. Discard them. And I think there's about 10 different places where this card is good. You know?
Yep.
Like, even in, like, something like, obviously, Quest Mage, you're going to go nuts because of, like, Sorcerer's Apprentice and Flame Waker. Reno Quest Mage just gives you extra stuff to do. Even in like a Cyclone Mage type of thing, like this automatically makes it so on turn 4 you can play a Mountain Giant if this is in your hand, you know, like just little things like that. Like this is the reason Mountain Giant got sent to Wild for us.
Yeah. All right. I give it a 5.
5.
5.
Yay.
All right, next up, it is a minion. It is epic called Apexis Smuggler. It's a 2-mana 2/3. After you play a secret, discover a spell. So let me ask you guys, do you think that this finds a home in Secret Mage?
This goes in my Reno Secret Mage.
I mean, that might be a thing at some point. Don't get me wrong, Craig.
No, me and Nate played it.
I took Reno's Secret Mage to rank 5 last month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That deck could be a thing. I mean, it's not a super tier 1 deck, but it could be.
No. I mean, it was like a pretty solid tier 2. It's not bad.
Well, there's definitely a couple cards in this expansion that are going in this, and this does go in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
the thing about this, right, is that I don't think that there's room for this in current Secret Mage.
I agree.
I think that
it's not really according
think
to plan either.
Yeah, this isn't a Secret Mage type of spell. This is generating value from the secrets rather than generating damage.
Yeah, I think I would give it I like it enough that I could see it in some Fringe Reno decks. A 2-mana 2/3 is not a bad body. I think I would give it a 2 because, like, it's, I don't know. Although it is discover rather than, like,
That's
just
true.
getting a random thing. So I'm somewhere between a 2 and a 3. Yeah,
I like a 2 on this card.
I think a 2 is fine because it feels more Fringe to me, but...
Yeah, I'm gonna lean a little bit more pessimistic. I'll give it a 1, but I do think that there is potential for it in the future if things go differently.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Next card.
Yeah.
All right, 5-mana epic spell called Apexis Blast. Deal 5 damage. If your deck has no minions, summon a random 5-cost minion.
I give it a 1.
I think this is something interesting that they are trying to push in Standard. Some idea of like a no minion mage.
We'll never do it.
No, I think it's goofy. I'm just going to say a 1 as well. Maybe a 2 for Standard, but
80 gold. Yeah, let's go back actually because we did forget to read every single card for Standard.
no. It would turn an 8-hour show into a 16.
8 hours later, we could hit that world record. We'd be able to do it that time.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up is the Imprisoned Observer. It is a rare 3-mana 4/5 demon, dormant for 2 turns. When it awakens, deals 2 damage to all enemy minions. I give it a 1.
Wait, but with Vargoth and Time Warp, huh? you're doing it in one cycle.
Oh, man.
I've been waiting to make that joke all night.
That's a good one.
It just seems crappy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
bad.
1.
All right.
1s across the board.
Okay, this card wins best flavor text for me. It is a 1 mana rare spell called Font of Power. Discover a mage minion. If your deck has no minions, keep all 3.
I
What's
just
the
read
flavor
the flavor
text?
text. It's Comic Sans.
My inner graphic designer is very pleased. This goes in that no mage minion deck, so I give it a 1.
Yeah, it's a 1s.
Yeah. It's not good enough for
Freeze.
Cyclone Mage, right?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Because it makes a
No.
minion,
It
not a
discovers
spell.
the minion. It discovers a minion, not a spell.
Okay, next up is Deep Freeze. It is an 8 mana rare spell. Freeze an enemy. Also summon 2/3/6 water elementals.
The only thing I could see this with is maybe in a Calathas type of build where you're getting the 2/3/6s on turn 6 somehow, but I don't think so. Maybe in a traditional Reno Mage, but with Jaina, but especially with Jaina not seeing play as much anymore, I just never see this seeing play.
Yep,
Yeah,
same here on that.
I mean, part of me could see it being super fringe play in some kind of weird Reno Elemental type build, but I think the power level is just way too low. It feels like a tier 5 type deck to me.
Yeah,
So I think
this
I
is for
would-
minionless Mage.
I would give it a 1 as well.
I agree.
Yep.
It'll be fun to discover off of Puzzle Box, and all those cards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go,
Sure.
though. I think this next one is actually pretty interesting, I think. It is a 2 mana common spell called Incanter's Flow. Reduce the cost of spells in your deck by 1. I think any of the Quest Mage decks just play this, right? I mean,
I don't know,
Yes.
man.
I don't know.
think
I tell me your thoughts on it though, for real. Like, this is interesting for me.
Well, I'll go first. I think that it's obviously powerful. Like, over the course of if you play this on turn 2, over the course of the game, you're going to save probably like 12 mana, something like that. But I also feel like you're throwing away a turn almost. Like, maybe this is better in something like Cyclone Mage, where you're using it to generate more spells. But like in the Reno Quest Mage, I just think it's a little slow. Like, not slow, but slow. A little too tempo later
what
is
do you
never
do
that
on
great.
turn 2, though? Imagine you have this in your opening hand. What do you do on turn 2?
Yeah, you got Questing Adventures and the coin guy, the 3/2 coin guy.
Oh, that's
are there.
true. You have those two. So those two are definitely better than this. I think that I'd rather have those played than this. But I think that in Cyclone Mage, this is like hands down the best card you could ever have.
Yeah, it is good, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But the thing I'm thinking about with this too is that, I mean, we're currently coming from the mindset of Reno, Quest, and Cyclone, right? But if you go back maybe about 3 years, we had this deck called Exodia Mage. Now
Yeah.
this card lets you run Exodia Mage without Emperor Thorison.
That's still one of
or-
my favorite
or-
decks of all time.
Yeah, well, maybe not Emperor Thorison, but I mean, you do probably need to run Emperor Thorison because it's only the spells that are in your deck. So if you draw combo pieces, you still need the Emperor, but you're less likely to have to use it. So, I mean, this is not the meta for that because obviously Reno and Ice Block specifically are going to stop that deck in general. But that deck is a thing. And it's something to be kept on everyone's radar.
Yeah, and this does, I think, see play in Cyclone Mage, right? Like, straight up, not Reno Cyclone, like Cyclone Quest Mage. That, I don't know if it's still... I think it's still close, though, Danny. I think this is like the 25th card, 26th card in that deck. But it just does... With Calathas, or whatever the hell it is, this card is really powerful. I'm sticking it at a 4, where it's... I don't think it's a 5, though.
I say a 4 as well. I think it's not to the same power level as Evocation, but it's certainly very, very strong. I mean, yeah, it's gonna make a lot.
Evocation for 1 or for 0.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna give this a 5.
Oh,
Go
wow.
a little bit higher, knocking this out. I think this is a very strong card.
Nice. I'm
I
excited
think
to
that's
see.
fair.
Quest Mage needed the help, you know?
Yeah, right.
All right, next up.
This is what happens when you sing a song to Dean Ayala. He comes in, all right, yeah, hey, let's buff all those mage cards. Let's make them suffer a little bit.
Can I take this card? This is probably my favorite card in the set. It's up there anyway. Star Scryer. She's a 2-mana 3/1 with Death Rattle, summon a spell. And the deck that I'm really excited to play, and I know it's not going to be the best deck, but it will be good, is Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage. So you play.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah,
That's so
now,
good.
Yeah,
That's
now
so
you
good.
now you have five ways to tutor it, because we have Enchanted Raven, and we have Star Scryers, and we have the Pocket Galaxy itself. So we have 5 copies. So we're guaranteed that Luna's Pocket Galaxy by turn 7 now, turn 6 on the coin. And if you're playing the Dragon build, you're guaranteed to have it on turn 6 with the Dragon guy. I'm super excited for this card. The fact that it draws a spell is what makes it incredible to me. So this card, I'm already putting it at a 4 because of its interaction with Luna's Pocket Galaxy.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. When I first looked at this, I just thought, eh. But I've drank the Kool-Aid a little bit. I think...
Yeah, 4 is probably exaggerating, but I'm sticking with it.
I'll say a 3, but I could see it working.
Yeah, it has potential. I'm going to go with a 3, but I was going to say 2 before, Craig, so you bumped me up from a 2 to a 3.
Yes, I'm so happy because I figured that out and I was almost crying. I was so happy. I never figure out cards. I'm like, Temperus.
Hey, let's talk about that in 3 years. Maybe we'll have something.
Yeah, you said that 2 years ago.
I did.
All right. Well, here's the last mage spell. It is 3 mana common, Nether Wind Portal. It is a secret. After your opponent casts a spell, summon a random 4-cost minion.
This is nuts.
Yeah. Well, this is another spell-based secret, right? So you have counterspell, you have the secret bender or whatever, spell bender,
and you have mana
and then
bind.
you have there's mana bind that takes it. So you have a lot of variety. Mana bind never sees play, just because you never really want to be taking a spell from your opponent, because it's typically going to be a board clear in Secret Mage, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
This is for tempo. This is an insane card in Secret Mage. Like, this is probably the best secret in Secret Mage, just because all of a sudden, like, your opponent's using a secret to clear your board or heal up because you're pressuring them down heavily. All of a sudden, you get another body on board. Like, this is nuts. This is going to be insane in Secret Mage. The guy running away from the portal, he's trying to run away from Secret Mage because it's going to get really strong after this.
I think that the trick here is that it summons the 4-cost minion on your opponent's turn, so when it's your turn, you can attack with it. So
yes,
I think this is fairly strong. I agree with your assessment, Danny, and I would give it a 4.
Yeah, and now I don't think you have to play bad secrets anymore. Like, not to say that, like, Duplicate's not a bad secret, but it's not exactly what Quest Mage wants to do, or Secret Mage wants to do. Like, now, between Explosive Runes, Counter Spells, Netherwing Portal, and maybe an Ice Block, you're playing, like, incredible cards now. Like, this is awesome.
These are very premium.
Like, for me, it's awesome. I like Secret Mage, but a lot of people are gonna. I think this is gonna bump Secret Mage up a little bit again.
I'm a Secret Mage player. I like it. So what do we score Mage overall? I think higher than the other classes.
Oh, sorry, I don't think I rated this one. I'm giving it a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we have the numbers in, and Mage coming in at 0.03, lower than Hunter. It is a 2.53.
Huh.
Wow,
So
even with
just about on
evocation.
par. So here's the thing, right? We gave a lot of cards with Mage once. So that's going to lead into it, right? So I don't think that this is reflective of the power level on, like, we gave one card 5s across the board, evocation, but there are a lot of duds within the class as well. So the average is like, what does it get? So I think one card can probably be better than a couple of mediocre cards, because I think there were a lot of Hunter was buffed up because there are a lot of like mediocre cards, and then there was the Lion card. Lion's really strong. So both of the classes have fives, but essentially there are a lot of just individually all the cards that were not ones or were essentially threes and aboves, whereas in Hunter there were some that were across the board twos here and there.
Mage might be the real winner here.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It usually is. I think it'll be interesting when all is said and done at the end of this, like looking at what are the top 20 highest score cards or something like that. We can sort by that, right?
Yeah, we can.
Ixar loves a Lunith.
That's true.
He does.
All right. Let's get into Paladin. First up is our prime card, Murgle Murgurgle. It is the first iteration is a legendary 2-mana 2/1 Murloc with Divine Shield. Death Rattle, shuffle Murgurgle Prime into your deck. The Prime version is an 8-mana 6/3 Murloc with Divine Shield. Battlecry, summon 4 random Murlocs. Give them Divine Shield.
Can I tell you where I love this card?
The flavor is
this is a deck that me and Danny tinkered with a lot when the last expansion came out, or 2 expansions ago, which was Tip the Scales Paladin. Like, this is really good in Tip the Scales Paladin. It gives
by
you
the
a
way,
big body.
So last weekend, I totally forgot to bring it up in the news, but last weekend, Team Hearth Legends did a wild tournament, and I got to help cast. And one of the guys played a Tip the Scales deck and won on turn 4. Like, it was just busted.
Yeah, like even though
it's very good in that.
Yeah, even though the 6/3 you won't get the battle cry, I still think playing Tip the Scales into a 6/3 Divine Shield Murloc is pretty good.
Or even getting the first body, right? If you hit the first body off the Tip the Scales, it's like, okay, well, I have some more refill. Like, the 8-mana 6/3 is like refill, essentially. It's an army in a can.
Yeah, but would you be that upset if you summoned it off a Tip to the Scales, though?
No, not at all. Because you have a bunch of other Murlocs.
And that's kind of your downside. So I like this card. I think that's pretty much the deck where it'll see play. I don't see it anywhere else. So
no, I mean, I do think that Murloc Paladin kind of has a soft spot in our hearts just based on our history. I think that, Craig, like, that's what you hit Legend with way back when. And
yeah,
it's I don't know that the card's super great, but it's fun. I don't know.
I wonder if you slot it into like an Azoth Paladin just for the extra draw at the end of the game.
I don't know.
It does give you two. It gives you an extra card into your deck. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give it a 2 just because I think it's fringe. Like, I could see it being really fun in the right deck. I don't think that it's busted, but like, I'm borderline 3, but I don't think that the power level is just strong enough to turn it into a thing. But I really like it. I love the artwork. Absolutely love the artwork. I still feel like it's around a 2 for me, but
yeah, I'm inclined to give it a 3, but I'm going to give it a 2 because I just don't think Tip the Scales is quite powerful enough right now. So I'm going to give it a 2, but down the line, I could see it. If it gets a little more support than Murlocs, I could see it doing numbers, but 2 for now.
Yeah, I was going to give it a 1, but Tip the Scales, I didn't think about that card, and now I did, so it's a 2.
Cool. All right. Next up is Lady Liadrin. It is the other set legendary. It is a 7-mana 4/6 Battlecry. Add a copy of each spell you cast on friendly characters this game to your hand. So this goes back to the old Quest Paladin, right?
Yeah, the last Kaleidosaur.
Yeah. I mean, I don't...
You need to finish the quest way before turn 7. I think I'm the person who's played the most of that quest in the game. And I tell you for sure, I'm already done with the quest by turn 7.
Yeah, but to be fair, you were also playing that quest without planning on ticking it off for a bit.
Yeah, well, so that's before that, right? Like, that's not including that.
Yeah.
Because I played that quest in the Holy Wrath Molten Giant combo. That was do you guys remember that one? Where you would go through and you would you'd play the quest, you try to finish it, but then when you got to hem it, you would hem it on 6, and then you would Holy Wrath and Molten Giant your opponent down.
That's pretty gross. I mean, I like the flavor. I like the flavor of this card. I don't think that it's actually that good. Like, I really want to play it and try it, but like,
it could get you a lot of heal and card draw back into your hand with like Seal of, I think it's Seal of Fate and like, because it does hit stuff that hits your face as well. Like, it's friendly characters, but
Yep.
probably not. This is definitely my 80 gold quest craft.
I love the idea of it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's strong enough to be meta defining like whatsoever. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna try to make it work in some form or fashion. For me, this is a 2.
I'm giving it a 1.
I am giving it a 1 as well.
That's fair enough.
You can tell Nate loves the fun cards.
I do. Well, and Paladin, like, I don't know. I like the idea of it. I don't think it's ever gonna work. I like the idea of it. All right, and talking about crappy cards, let us talk about this next one.
Oh, nice.
It is an epic weapon, 3 mana, 3/2, Underlight Angling Rod. After your hero attacks, add a random Murloc to your hand. So
Really
let me
funny
ask you,
card.
does this? I know I love the flavor. I don't think it's going to be that good because there's so many possibilities. But let me ask you guys: is this going to have a higher chance of pulling Paladin Murlocs, or is it just any Murloc?
No, any Murloc.
It's any Murloc.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not because it's not Discover, right? The Discover has a higher chance of class cards, right? But this
Discover,
is-
you could only get class cards or neutral cards, and there's no disparity. Like, there's no bonus for class cards anymore.
Okay. Well, I just think that this is bad. I give it a 1.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to give it a 2 just because Rallying Blade did see play for a while. Those types of decks that used to run Rallying Blade don't exist anymore, but if they were to come back, Rallying Blade, this is better than Rallying Blade. Because Rallying Blade give you an occasional +1/+1. This gives you a card. So I'm
That's
going to give
true.
it a 2.
I guess
enough.
it depends. If you're playing Shield and Minibot, an Argent Commander, an Argent Squire.
Yeah, that's true, right? I think that might be better if you're playing like if you have Argent Commander or Argent Squire, any of that stuff, then it's better. But I think just generally this has some potential as like a little bit of an offshoot of that.
For sure.
All right. Next up, we get into the Libram cards. So this is the first one. It is Libram of Hope. It is a 9 mana epic spell. Restore 8 health. Summon an 8/8 Guardian with Taunt and Divine Shield.
I believe they're Librams, right?
Yep, Libram.
Yeah.
Okay. That fair enough.
So these cards are pretty cool. I feel like they're not powerful enough for Wild, but I'm not sure yet. Like, this card can get discounted down to like 3 in a like if you draw all the pieces. But I don't think the Libram package is going to be good. What do you think, Danny?
I don't think the payoff is high enough, right? Like you run these discounting things, right? And like summoning an 8/8 with Taunt and Divine Shield is cool, but there are better ways to clear it. And in order to discount this down, you have to have played a 2 mana 2/3 is fine, that's okay. But then like the 5 mana 4/8, this is like a mid-range deck, like the optimal mid-range deck is running this. And I don't think mid-range exists in Wild anymore.
Yeah,
I think that we're running aggro, we're running control, and we're running combo. And those are the 3. Mid-range normally is between control and aggro, but I don't think that there's enough room for it. I think you need to be either hyper-aggressive, super control, or combo, because everyone has like win conditions that'll shut the game off.
Yeah, so this one, I'm giving it a 1.
Yep. I think this is the best Libram there is.
Yeah, I think the
But
2
I'm
mana
also
one is...
giving...
The 2 mana one's okay, but I think this one is probably a little better, and it's still a 1 to me.
Yeah, I think for me this is a 2 in Standard, a 1 in Wild.
Mm-hmm. It might be even better in Standard. I think this is like a 3 in Standard.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I think it's
Just
a 5
because
in
you gotta
Standard.
think... Well, I don't think it's a 5.
Well, I don't care.
So you gotta think, like, this is very similar to Ragnaros Light Lord for 1 turn. Because that's pretty much what it is. It heals you for 8, gives a big body. And it
Taunt.
prevents a little bit of damage. And the Taunt is big, too. That's not to be denied.
And Divine Shield.
The Divine Shield's an extra health point. It's an 8/9.
Yeah, you're right. All right. So ones
right.
across the board.
Let's move on.
These should be quick then.
The next one's up is Aldor Truthseeker. It is a rare 5 mana 4/6. Taunt, Battlecry, reduce the cost of your Librams by 2 this game.
For the same reasons, I'm saying 1.
I think so
Yep,
as
same
well.
here.
I could see this like Libram deck being okay in Standard. I don't even, would not even consider playing it in Wild, honestly. So that's just a quick and easy one for me.
Hold on a second. Wait a second. If you play this card, and I think we're going to talk about the next card. So I'll talk about this on the next card.
It only
right.
discounts it once.
Oh, it does.
sure?
So you can't play it twice.
Yeah,
Like
I'm almost certain. Oh no, reduced by the rest of the game. No, you're right. You're right, Danny. It would discount it to 0.
Hold on a second.
Well, I mean,
we
if
might
you-
have something.
okay. Say you
Are
play.
you guys ready for APM?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's go.
Well, I mean, say you play 2
Bring
of
the
these,
next card up first.
or you play Brand.
Yeah, let's talk about the
this.
next card. Let's talk about the next card.
All right.
So I think we're giving this 1s across the board unless what I say changes this.
All right, Libram of Wisdom. It's a 2-mana rare. Give a minion +1/+1. Add Death Rattle. Add a Libram of Wisdom spell to your hand. So this is a.
So this self-populates to itself, right?
Yeah. It's just
So-
like it's Explorer's Hat,
Oh, it's
right?
the death rattle on the spell. Never
Yeah,
mind.
that's
I thought
the
it,
problem.
I thought it was give a minion +1/+1 and add a Libram of Wisdom spell to your hand.
That
I'm
would
like,
be a
wait, can we
huge
go off
oversight.
Infinitely? Can we go off infinitely?
Could you imagine how embarrassed Blizzard would be?
That would be amazing.
Oh, we
yeah,
would
we
break
just
it,
printed
yeah.
an infinite
Stone Tusk
combo.
Boar
Okay.
OP.
Yeah. All right, so we're giving. Okay, I'm giving the other one a 1 before because I was confused about the death rattle portion.
Yeah, I wonder, is there anything like Spirit Singer Umbra doesn't work the way that you'd really love it to with this, for instance.
Not
so,
with this, no.
yeah, so no, this is just a 1.
All right, let's move on.
Yep.
These Librams are helping our set review go by quicker, though.
I know.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you, Blizzard. We really like these Librams.
All right, 1 mana, 2/1 Murloc. Imprison Sungill. Dormant for 2 turns. When this awakens, summon 2 1/1 Murlocs.
This is bad even for standard. Like,
This is all
next
around bad.
card.
I give
Yeah,
it a 0.
1.
Yep, an Aldor attendant.
Well, no, wait, but it's Haunted Creeper just with a delay.
All right, Aldor Attendant. It's a 2-mana common, 2/3. Battlecry. Reduce the cost of your Librams by 1 this game.
I give this one a 5.
Go home. Go home,
It's a
Craig.
5. It's a 5 for helping speed up our show. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 1.
Next.
It's a 1, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Libram of Justice is 6-mana common spell. Equipped a 1/4 weapon. Change the health of all enemy minions to 1.
I think this
So
is
you
the
can-
best Libram, by the way.
Yeah, it probably is, but you got to consider this, compare this to Equality, which is 4 mana, change the health. Oh, this is only enemy minions.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So I give this a 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with that.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do we ever think, like, I mean, I know the answer is no, but, like, do we ever think that Spiteful Paladin could be a thing with these Libram cards?
It used to be a thing. Spiteful Paladin was run when you would run anything. It was anything can happen as the top end, and you would run Spiteful Summoner.
There's a big problem with using the Libram cards for Spiteful Paladin is by the time you play Spiteful, your Spiteful's going to be summoning like 3 mana minions. Because these
Yeah.
get reduced.
Yeah, because they discount, right?
Yeah. All right. I
Oh,
mean,
I have a question. Did either of you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX at all or play the game where
No.
there was a card called Elemental Clayman? Because anyway,
Memnarch did.
for the listeners at home, Elemental Clayman is the art on this card. If you want to Google it, you'll be like, oh wow, they ripped that off. Anyway,
Sweet. Okay, well, this card, I give it, I mean, I'm still going to say a 1, maybe a 2, but I think that their equality's better.
you're probably right, Nate, because you're not playing this without playing the other Libram cards, right? So it's probably still a 1, but it is the best of them, so
Yeah.
that's why I said 2.
All right, last one. The Hand of Adal. It is a 2-mana common. Give a minion +2/+2 and draw a card.
I'm excited about this.
I don't think it's necessarily bad, right? If we say 2-mana draw a card plus a buff, like I don't think it's awesome, but I don't think it's bad.
I think it's better than Northshire for the or not Novice Engineer for the most part.
I would agree on that. The one thing that you're Paladin, so you're playing your hero power every turn. You're probably gonna have a 1/1 sticking around, so you can do a lot of fun stuff with that. The thing that I think about with this though is that this is very similar to Flash of Light. Would you prefer to give a minion +2/+2 or heal for 4? And I think that it's a toss-up between that. I think Flash of Light is playable. I think that Flash of Light is like a mid-tier type card. And I think that Hand of a Doll is replaceable depending on what the characteristic of the deck you are playing is.
Yeah, if you're playing like a tempo deck, this card's pretty... It's like Mark of Yasarj, but it's always on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Well, I give it a 2. I mean, I think it's playable. I don't think it's super awesome, but...
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 3, just because I think it's a little... Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like 3 as well.
All right. I'll stick with mine. That's fair enough.
Haha, Nate, you're at 2.
You're a 10,
He's
Craig.
number 2.
And you smell like 1, 2. Wash your hands.
Are you guys ready for the... give me your guesses what we gave Paladin.
Oh, a 1.5?
I'm going to say just a 1.
It's a 1.4.
Poor Paladin. I thought for sure this was the expansion. Paladin would get some love.
It's going to be a couple more years.
Next time. It's always next time.
Yeah.
All right, we're on Priest. So the prime one is Reliquary of Souls. It's a 1-mana 1/3 lifesteal, Death Rattle, shuffle Reliquary Prime into your deck. The Prime is 7-mana 6/6 taunt lifesteal. Only you can target this with spells and hero powers. I
love that wording.
Yeah, I think
only you can prevent forest fires.
By the way, for those of you who are listening on audio, Danny's webcam froze in a very cute frame there. You're kind of like
you are adorable, Danny.
Oh, come on.
It's beautiful.
So I could see this play in like
God damn it,
kind of like a combo priest as like a little assurance policy to like.
Are you kidding me? How did that freeze? Well, that's a little ridiculous.
Danny's embarrassed, but yeah, I could see this. Like, if there is a world where there's a tempo priest, I could see this play in it, or maybe like an inner fire priest could see this. I really love the words only you can target this with spells and hero powers. Like buffing it is just free almost. Like they can silence it with like Spellbreaker, but they can't with spells. So this is pretty cool.
I like the idea of it. I think that this actually is probably good enough to make its way into other stuff. So I don't know. I like it. I don't know that it's busted, but the idea that you can buff it, you can heal it, like I'm cautiously optimistic, and I'm gonna say a 4.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3 with hopes that it's a 4.
I don't know. I think that the funny thing is that if I'm gonna give it a 2. And it's a 3 if you're playing it literally for the ping and Raza Priest. So,
yeah, but it kind of slows you down to your combo too.
I don't see it in Raza Priest. I see it more in a like. I mean, of course, this is maybe fringe, but I could see it in Big Priest. I could see it in
Big Priest. I don't like that.
I could see it in quests and some kind of quest priest. You know
what I could see this in? Why couldn't they give this to Paladin?
Yeah. This would be great in Paladin.
Oh my god, it'd be so fun. Like, that's too bad. Anyway.
All right, let's move on. The next one is 7 mana. It's called Soul Mirror. It is a legendary spell. Summon copies of enemy minions. They attack their copies. They should have just called it Battlegrounds. So
that's true.
I love this card, man. Like, I think this is an easy 4. Like, I think it's just in most decks. I think it's better than Soul. What's the board wipe that the Light Bomb. I think it's better than Light Bomb. I know it's 1 mana more expensive. Outside of Big Priest, I think it's always better than Light Bomb. So I think this card's gonna see play. I know 7's Psychic Scream spot, but I still think you can add this into Reno decks and maybe some more controlling decks.
Yeah, and then the big thing is you can use this if your opponent has more health than attack. You keep the minion that originally that attacks their minion, right? You keep it on the board. So this is technically a board generator as well. If you
get
don't
to
clear
heal
the minion. Yeah.
So you're left with a bigger board than them every time. And if you already have them, if they have 5 minions and you have 2 minions, then your minions remain unaffected, unlike Light Bomb. So this card's really cool.
And
your opponents, and you get the effect of their minion dying too. Imagine they have a Sylvanas on the board, right?
Or
all of a sudden you have a Sylvanas that goes in and attacks their thing, or exactly. So I think that this card is very good. It's gonna get this is very similar to Mass Hysteria in the fact that this will take some time to get used to. This is the type of spell that after about 2 months of playing with the card, everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, this is a really easy card to understand. You just need to do these couple of things. But when Mass Hysteria came out, we're like, we have no idea how this card's going to work and how it's going to feel. I think this card's just going to be good generally, but I don't think anyone knows how to play it yet.
Well, I think it's going to be a lot easier to learn than Mass Hysteria. To this day, if I'm playing Hearthstone and I'm a little tired, Mass Hysteria will just fuck my mind up. Where this card, you just gotta look and say, okay, the attack is, you know what I mean? We're gonna, it's the same as Light Bomb math, except you're gonna look at you having minions.
It's a little bit easier.
I think, I don't know. I still feel like it's a little situational. What happens if you're playing against I don't know, Odd Paladin or some other, it's very expensive.
It seems great against Odd Paladin.
Yeah, but for 7 mana, I don't know.
I mean, this is one more board clear, so potentially you're going through, and I don't think this replaces any current board clears.
No,
I think it comes in as an additional board clear.
I think so too. I mean, I could see this going in a Reno Priest or something, like a control heavy Reno Priest. I don't think it's busted.
I think it replaces Plague of Death if that was your choice.
Yep. If you're playing Plague of Death, this is better than Plague of Death, I think.
I like it.
I'm gonna say a 3. It might be a 4. I'm gonna say a 3 for me personally.
I'm giving it a 4.
That's
giving
fair.
it a 4 as well.
That's fair.
You have no soul.
I'm okay with that. All right. Next up is Sethic Veil Weaver. It is a 2 mana 2/3 epic. After you cast a spell on a minion, add a priest spell to your hand. So this is basically. This is I can't remember the name of it.
Lyra, but not as good.
Lyra, the Sun Shard, right, or whatever.
Wait, why is this not? It's on a minion. It has to be on a minion.
Yeah.
It's better because you're not paying 5 mana to throw it down, but the fact that you have to cast stuff on minions, but still, imagine this in an Inner Fire Priest deck where you're already gonna do some combo stuff. Then you play this, and you're at least getting some. A backup plan added to your hand, that's something. And Raza Priest might even play this because you could play those heal effects on your minions instead of on your face to get more resources. I think this card's not incredible, but I think it's good. I think it's a playable card. I'd give it a 3.
I think a 3 is okay. I mean, typically the epic cards are not bad. I think a 3 is fair. I could see putting it in a Raza deck.
What about you, Danny? You're our priest guy.
I'm not sold on this card because my thought process in Raza Priest is that I think nowadays with Raza you just want to cycle. I don't care about the number of cards because I can kill you from 30 with 5 cards in my hand, and the majority of the cards, if I just choose 5 at random from my deck, then I just win, like, I think it's under 10 mana on average. So I think Raza doesn't need more card generation. I think it used to when you had to discount spells and all of that stuff. I think it's changed more to a just pure cycle deck. That's why people are running Gadgets and Auctioneer now.
Yeah.
As for the Inner Fire concept, I would much rather have this be something that tutors to my cards that will win me the game rather than be relying on a randomness factor or a backup plan. I'd rather just have the win condition itself. So I'm going to give this one a 1.
Wow.
I think that's fair enough. I do think the interesting thing is, though, when it just says anytime you target a minion or cast a spell on a minion. So if I use the Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Pain on my opponent's minion, I still generate a random card, which is interesting. The problem is when you generate, like, you're going to be generating like 9-cost spells and crap that is
That's the thing,
unplayable.
right? If it was something where it's like generate a random pre-spell under 3 mana, that's a different story, because then you can cycle through it quickly, and then you could go through and potentially use it for like some Raza shenanigans. But a lot of pre-spells are board clears, which is never good if you are like casting spells on minions, because in most of the case you're going to be doing it like Inner Fire or something, and that's minions on your side you don't want to kill. And then with this, you could also have issues where I don't know, just the large costing spells.
The one thing that I will say that I don't know if we're missing it or not, but like Shadow Word Pain and Potion of Madness, all of those cards also trigger this, right?
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I think I'll drop this from a 3 down to a 2, though. I think it's fringe. I don't think it's quite as good the more I think about it.
I'm staying at a 3 because I'm not a flip-flopper on Nate Wolfe over there.
Yeah, I'm a flip-flopper penguin. That's fine. All right, next up.
That was good.
Skeletal Dragon. It is a 7-mana 4/9 dragon. It's an epic card with taunt. At the end of your turn, add a dragon to your hand.
Oh, this is decent. And like maybe in a big priest even, or no? Am I
So
crazy?
is this add a random dragon? How come the word random is missing?
Yeah, that is
like,
interesting.
They had that on another card. There was another one where earlier I recognized they dropped the word random. It was the Beast one, the Beast Legendary, the one that it summoned 3 beasts from your hand. It's going to be clearly 3 random beasts.
I wonder
They're
if that's
dropping
like
the word
a
random.
feels bad thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
probably get rid of they probably internally have said, hey, you keep the word. They want to stop Zeddy from yelling about random cards.
Yeah, so like there's certain cards that would
it's not
have
gonna-
to say there's certain cards that would still have to say random, and this one doesn't necessarily
sure.
need it.
This one doesn't necessarily, because they're going to say, oh, Witch Dragon. Oh, I got this one. Oh, I got a Ysera this time. Oh, I get this one. I bet it's a random one. You don't need to know that.
Nate,
in order to understand
I'm
the
so
card.
sorry, Nate. I cut you off on a hilarious Zeddy joke.
What was the joke?
I think you were gonna say there's nothing that's gonna stop Zeddy from complaining. Am I wrong? Because I swear I saw it coming out. And I thought it was hilarious.
Respectfully, I love you, Zeddy, but yes, that's what I was going to say.
we support Zeddy here at Born to Be Wild.
Yes.
The stats on this are not bad. A 4/9 with taunt is actually pretty beefy.
Yeah, I could see it in like a Dragon Priest.
In a dragon build, I could see it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. I think that I would give it a 3.
I'm giving it a 2.
I'm giving it a 1.
You suck, man.
All right, let's move on.
It's never going to see play.
All right.
No, not a 2.
I was gonna say I'm gonna play it. At least I'm not gonna play it well, but all right. Dragon Maw Overseer. It's a 3-mana 2/2 rare card. At the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +2/+2. I don't see it. Maybe in a Spiteful Priest. That's or like some kind of tempo priest is like the only way I could possibly see this being played, and I just don't think that it's quite good enough.
And I think our random theory was confirmed with this card.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because you don't
Yeah.
get to choose.
Yeah, you don't get to choose. But yeah, I think this card's like I've heard some people say that it might see play in Inner Fire Priest, and I just don't agree. I think
No.
Shadow Ascendant, was it Shadow Ascendant? The 2-mana.
Yeah.
How much does that cost, though? Is that 2 mana 2/2?
Yeah,
Yeah,
2-mana
it is.
2/2 to give a minion +1/+1 at the end of your turn. So very similar to this. I just don't think this is good.
No, and Shadow Ascendant was run in Spiteful Priest. Like, if Spiteful Priest was, like, it's not good in Wild anyways, right? But, like, if it was, I would play this card in it. I still don't think that it's all that great. It might be fun, but I don't see its power level being anything, like, crazy. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, I think kind of the way that Spiteful Priest works is that you can develop a big board very quickly out of nowhere, and if your opponent can't deal with it, they lose. But I don't think that it's particularly, like, anything special or crazy. I'm kind of over it, frankly. I mean, I give it a 1. I think borderline 2 for me, but I think I'm comfortable giving it a 1 for Wild purposes.
I also gave it a 1.
Me as well.
Yay! All right, is that the right card? Okay. Okay, next up, Dragon Maw Sentinel. It is a rare 2-mana.
I like this
1/4
card.
Battle Cry. If you're holding a dragon, gain +1 attack and lifesteal. A 2-mana 2/4 lifesteal is not bad. I mean, when we used to play Dragon Priest, way back when, we used the card that was
Worm Wrist Ancient.
Yeah, and
Which is
this
the same card, but instead of having lifesteal, it was taunt.
Yeah,
The card read exactly the same thing, but instead of lifesteal, it said taunt.
which was probably a little better on average.
I don't think so. I think that lifesteal is
I was just
better
kidding.
than taunt. No, you're fine. I mean, I think this one's up for grabs, right? Because in the early game, right, your opponent would have to obviously chip down the taunt, and it's better on turn 2. But on, like, turn 4, your opponent's going to have to trade, like, a 4/4 into this. And then, like, before that was, like, just getting through the taunt, and then all the other things would go by. But this heals you up a little bit. I think it's a little bit better because... I don't know. I think it's a little bit better with lifesteal because it has a bit of pseudo taunt. Because every single time you can play, you can go and chip off their little minions with this, and then go face with it otherwise, and just the lifesteal will make up for some of the damage they're doing to you. So I think it's a little bit better. I don't think that Dragon Priest is playable right now, but if it does, it comes back. This is a playable card within that. I'd be good to give it a 2.
Yeah, me too. I'm playing a Reno Dragon Priest right now that EK made, and I don't think this would fit in the deck. So I'm going to give it a 2 as well, because I could see it down the line somewhere.
Yep.
And I think a 2 is fair. I like the lifesteal better than the taunt. I don't think that it's still super strong, but it's not bad. I enjoy it. I'll give it a 2.
Okay. And our next card is Psych Split. 5 mana. Spell. Rare. Give a minion +1/+2. Summon a copy of it. I poo-poo on this card myself.
I kind of like it in the right deck. It'd have to be
how
the right
often are you
deck.
playing Faceless Manipulator, though, in Priest?
Yeah.
Never.
No. The only time I see this really is like in Big Priest when I use this on a
Vargoth?
a Vargoth is fine. You play it on
That would be nuts on Vargoth.
Yeah, but I would rather play Grave Rune.
what's the one what is the one where when it dies it kills another enemy minion? I can't
Obsidian
think of the name.
Statue or the 2/6?
No, the smaller one.
Convincing Infiltrator.
Oh, there we go. Like one of those, like it sort of fits. I think it's better in standard. Like for Wild, it's probably not good enough. I think.
Well, even with Vargoth, this card's risky because it might target your opponents. Oh, never mind. It would come on your side of the board still. So.
Oh, you can summon your opponents. Well, that's not good. Imagine your opponent has a Paladin token.
Yeah.
And then you play Big Priest and you summon it.
I just think
Yeah.
Grave Rune is better generally, like for a similar effect. Grave Rune being 4 mana, give your minion Death Rattle, summon 2 copies of it. So I don't think this card's good enough. There might be some weird combo I'm missing here, but I don't think there is.
Well, we didn't find one with a Grave Rune. If we couldn't find one with a Grave Rune, we probably won't find it with this.
Yeah, Grave Ruin, we have the Leroy combo, and this doesn't have the Leroy combo. So,
Yeah, I think that if my take is like this is maybe a 3 in standard in like some kind of Galakron priest, res priest sort of thing in wild. I think it's probably a 1. Like it's just not good enough.
oh shit,
Borderline
we have to
2,
do the
but-
rest of the priest class cards in standard. We forgot.
Stop. All right. Next up,
Oh, I gave it a 1.
Yep, me too.
Speaking of ones,
all right. This is Imprisoned Homunculus. It's a 1 mana 2/5 demon, dormant for 2 turns, taunt. Like, have we ever seen a demon in priest ever? I don't think so.
No, this is the first time they're printing demons for every other class.
yeah,
I
most
think
classes have never seen
this
one.
is just bad. I'm gonna call it a 1 and move on.
On turn 1, it's good. On turn every other turn, it's bad.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Renew. It is a 1 mana common spell. Restore 3 health. Discover a spell.
This is a good card.
You think this for your like machine gun Raza priest, Danny?
Absolutely, right?
Probably. So you're running the 1 mana heal 5. So this is comparable to that. The one thing I'm looking is the 2 health worth a spell.
Yes.
And I would say probably.
Especially a
Because
discovered
you get
spell.
well, so that's the whole thing. Because it's discovered, yes. If it was a random spell, no. I think that the other one would be better.
Yeah, no, the Discover is great because if you can get a low cost, like a 0/1 2 mana spell, like this actually works pretty well with your Raza.
And it's situational
Anduin.
too, right? Imagine you're going through. My thought process on this is this could be used to grab a board clear in against aggro, where I'm playing like whatever. I'm playing up against a odd rogue, and all of a sudden the odd rogue keeps beating me down. I heal up with this, and I'm like, next turn they're gonna play a ton of stuff, and I'm gonna go through and Hysteria them or Excavated Evil them. Even though I didn't start with those cards in my deck, if I grab a board clear for the next turn, I can get that too.
I like
There's
it.
a much wider discover pool though that you need to take into account, because you could get there are a lot of really bad priest spells. So
But
you
to
have
be-
to be careful.
To be fair, there are a lot of cheap priest spells, like
That is also
lot,
true, yes.
which synergizes great. And if you have Radiant Elemental down when you play this, you're getting a double mana discount. Like this is a pretty.
Yep.
I think this card's almost an auto include in Raza Priest.
I
It
tend to
probably makes it
agree.
in there.
I'm
I
giving
think-
it a 4. I'd say 5, but I don't think it's impactful enough.
No, I don't think it's I am actually comfortable giving it a 4. Like I'm very comfortable putting it in a Raza priest, just based on it is very versatile, right? I can use it for the 1 mana ping, and then it's very situational. Like I can find more cards, low mana cost cards to ping more, or I can find a board clear or whatever I need. Hopefully, the thing that is risky is that our pool of cards now is larger than it has ever been, and so the chance of getting something crappy is high. But then again, like Craig said, a lot of low cost cards, so maybe worth it. I give it a 4.
And what about you, Danny?
I'm halfway between a 3 and a 4, and sticking with what I'm doing, I'm going to be a little bit more pessimistic and give it a 3.
Fair enough. All right, our last priest card, Apotheosis. It's a 3 mana common. Give a minion +2/+3 and lifesteal.
I like Val's Chosen better than this. And that doesn't really see play.
I think this is the first time we've been given a card that specifically can hand off lifesteal to a minion. That is not random. There was the priest spell that was like the 3 mana elixir that randomly could have a fourth of the time that it could be lifesteal. This is the first time we're giving a specific minion lifesteal.
Well,
And
Ziliax
that
was
is-
conditional.
Well, yeah, with Ziliax you have to be a mech, but like think about Wild Pyromancer for a second.
Oh!
You put Wild Pyromancer on the board. Now all of a sudden it deals 1 damage to everything and heals you for every damage that it deals. Like you got to think about this for other opportunities as well. There are other situations that this could go in and play. Like anything that deals damage. You put this on a Ragnaros, you heal 10.
Well, you'd heal 8.
No, you'd heal 10. Oh, no, you heal 8. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, but still, no, I never thought of it with. I really like it with Wild Pyromancer. That's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah.
And Ragnaros, yeah, you're right with Ragnaros, but specifically Wild Pyromancer, I love that.
Yeah, I think this is going to find a place in Reno. So I normally run in my Reno Priest. If I'm playing against like an aggro meta, I'll run Priest of the Feast. I might just cut that for this card because this probably can give me, it'll give me some more healing, and it's more like a on-board buff thing. So you typically have a minion or two.
Yeah, no, this is cool. I'm going to stick with a 2 for this one. I still think it might be a little too, I don't see it working with much more than Wild Pyromancer, to be honest, and I don't know if that's enough. So I'm going to give it a 2, but I'm hoping that we do see that combo happen often.
I will say a 2 as well.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 3.
Always the optimist.
More optimistic on this one, right? Yeah, I'm following in the vein of what I've been doing. I'm going to be optimistic this time. No.
All right. Let us move on. We are moving on to the rogue cards now. So first up, we have the Prime Akama, which is a legendary 3-mana 3/4 with stealth, death, rattle, shuffle Akama Prime into your deck. Akama Prime is a 6-mana 6/5 permanently stealth, so something new here. I've heard some people think that this is really good. Some people think that this is too slow. Personally, I find the idea of permanent stealth completely bananas. I'm like on the fence, like 4/5. Like I just absolutely love this.
See, for me, if Akama Prime was a card, if Akama Prime was a card on its own, I would agree with you, Nate. But the fact that you do have to, the amount of games you're going to play Akama Prime on turns 5 or 6 is almost 0. So I'm going to have to say that a 6-mana 6/5 permanently stealthed on turn 10, 11, whatever, is not nearly as good as a 6-mana 6/5 on curve. So I'm going to give this card a 2 and hope that I'm right, because I don't want this card to be great.
What did you say, Nate?
4. I give it a 4.
4. I'm going to go more with what Craig said. More or less because of how long it takes to get the card. Like I mentioned before, shuffling the map with Elise was a very value-oriented thing. This is a win condition, though. This is something that your opponent can never clear without using a spell. Like unless you trade it away. So and the big thing is that a lot of board clears take 2 tries to clear this. Flame Strike doesn't kill it straight up. Excavated Evil doesn't kill it straight up. A lot of the things that you would be using to clear the board don't kill this card. The second half of it, while it's permanently stealth.
Like Priest will get it pretty easily, and Warlock will get it pretty easily. But other than that, it's not easy.
Is there a way to tutor it?
Oh, no way.
There may be something. Is it draw a minion?
I don't
like. If
I'll have to
draw 2 cards. So
I'll have to go back and look. So remember, like, this is a year or 2 ago when they were spending time looking at class identity, and they were talking about how rogue class identity was stealth. Mm-hmm. If there was a way to tutor for a stealth card, that would be pretty awesome. I don't know that there is.
There's not a way to do that. But here's the thing: is that this card can be good, and I think one day we're gonna bump into that. And I don't think today's that day. Mm-hmm. Personally, especially Warlock, I think gets this with ease. Mage, though, Mage isn't getting rid of this easily.
All right. Well, that's fine. Let's keep rolling. All right, next one up. It is the other class legendary, Shadow Jeweler Hanar. It is a 2-mana 1/5 legendary. After you play a secret, discover a secret from a different class.
This is a good card.
All right, but I mean, I tend to agree, but just to play devil's advocate for a second, this card, like, the only way that there's no stealth or anything, so the only way that you're going to get value on it is playing this with a rogue secret the same turn. And
No, I
think
disagree so much. Because 2 mana 1/5s live.
it does have a big butt.
And you cannot lie.
I mean, 3 mana 1/5s lived. You look at the what was the name of the kobold guy who
Tar Creeper.
when you comp? No, not a Tar Creeper. The guy, the one who was nerfed to a 1/4.
God, Evil
The ones that gets
Miscreant.
lackeys.
Evil
Yes,
Miscreant.
Miscreant. So Miscreant on 3 mana as a 1/5 was busted enough to nerf it to a 1/4. On 2 mana, you're playing this out and they can't kill it.
Yeah, and you have secret support with Mad Scientist as a neutral card. I think this card pushes, and the secrets that we are getting, I think this pushes Secret Rogue as a fringe archetype in Wild.
No, this won't.
Yeah.
This won't proc after Mad Scientist though, right? Don't you have to play?
No,
it?
no, I'm just saying it's support.
So yeah, but you can run a lot more secrets in your deck, right?
No,
So
that's true.
It's kind of like Hunter, right? Where if you play a secret from hand, or not Hunter, Mage, where you can summon the secrets from your deck with the Mad Scientist, but playing them from hand gets additional benefits.
Yeah, no. Okay, you're right. I mean, I do think that this is good, and I mean, when we saw them test play this card, it was pretty bananas.
It was nuts.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a very strong card.
And we'll see that Rogue has some good secrets coming out this set as well.
I think the secrets are actually pretty good this set because they weren't that good in the past. I don't think that this card is broken, but I really think that the stat line is strong.
I do think this card is broken. I just don't think the archetype is supported heavily enough.
I'll give it a 4.
But I think this card's broken.
All right, I will say a 4. I think it's a 4.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to give it a 4, but I think that in the future, if they ever print Rogue Secrets ever again and give him any support, it becomes a 5.
Yeah, I agree too. This card is probably the most powerful secret-related card. Well, outside of Mage. So 4s across the board.
All right.
This is a cool
Sorry.
card.
All right. This is a. Oh, you take it, Craig.
All right, Greyheart Sage, 3 mana, 3/3, Battle Cry. It's epic, guys. Battle Cry. If you control a stealth minion, draw 2 cards. So this is pretty cool, and we'll see that we have a couple more playable stealth cards coming out in this set. So, like, I don't know if this is good enough. Like, is Stealth Rogue gonna be a thing? Maybe. We have cards like Conceal that can combo with this. I think maybe. Like, it's definitely playable, but I don't know if the deck itself is gonna be good enough. If the deck is good enough, it's in large part because of this card.
We just need
I think
we need a way to
ahead.
find Kane Sunfury for Rogue.
yes. If you can generate a random Demon Hunter legendary spell.
Oh, there is the Dragon's Horde where you discover a legendary from another class.
Oh, there you go. So I mean,
you
someone
can pick that, and Demon Hunter is a 50-50 because there's only 2 legendaries in that class.
Yeah. You just have to get the 1 in 10 to get Demon Hunter in the pool.
Yeah, right.
Well, someone will make a Hearth Trollden video of it, but I think that's about the likelihood.
This card's good though.
Yeah, it's not bad. It relies on some stealth support, but I don't think it's bad. I think I would be comfortable. I don't know. I'm somewhere between a 2 and a 3. It could be completely broken if it works. And
I'm giving it a 3 based on, like, again, the deck has to be there, but this will be the thing that makes the deck happen if the deck does happen. So I'm going to give it a 3 for this 3 mana 3/3.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm okay with that. I don't think it's. 3 is fine. I'm leaning towards a 2, but I'm okay with a 3.
sticking with how I've been acting with these cards, I'm going to be a little bit pessimistic here and give it a 1.
Yeah. You're terrible.
I don't think the archetype's ever going to be a thing. I think that there are a lot of more efficient things than you can do. Unless there's like a stealth minion that, like, with the Akama Prime, if that's like down, I'm down to play this card, right? But Akama Prime is so late game that I don't really care about drawing cards. I want to draw cards to get to my Akama Prime,
Yeah, well,
not
maybe
the other way around.
maybe there's a 1-mana 3/1 later that might change your mind.
All right. Oh, I love the secret. Okay, Bamboozle. It's a 2-mana rogue secret epic. It is a secret. When one of your minions is attacked, transform it into a random one that costs 3 more. I like
I've
it.
been bamboozled.
I like the flavor. I like the artwork. I think it's gonna be fun. Like, how good is it? I'm not quite sure, but 3 more is a pretty good stat line. I think the dangerous thing in Wild is that you've got a lot of high cost cards that have really strong battle cry effects, but that have really crappy little bodies, and that this could backfire relatively easy.
I think most of the time it's not going to backfire, though. I think this card is like 3 mana is a lot of mana. I think this card's going to be good.
I love the idea of like cheating this out with, with a mad scientist or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. And
the
big thing is that your opponent, whenever they're trying to attack into those minions, they line everything up, right? It's not like, well, I mean, as we saw in the reveal special, right? They attacked the Shadow Jeweler Hanar, and a 5/5 popped up. So, like, I think that 3 mana is a vast enough difference that, I mean, from 2 mana to 5 mana is a significant jump in stats. And even if it was like a 4/2 or whatever for 5 mana, all of a sudden it goes from you're expecting to take 1 damage, you're taking 3 more. And whatever minion you had is at full health. It's not like your opponent could have a 1/1 on board from this Shadow Jeweler Hanar, and it'll change into a 5/5.
Yeah, I like it. I'm not quite sure where we land yet. I'm somewhere between a 3 and a 4, but I think it's going to be. I mean,
I'll give it a 3.
If we're able to make the archetype work, I mean, I don't think it's busted, but I think it's definitely playable. So a 3, I think, is the appropriate score.
What do you think, Greg?
Sorry, I said I'm going to give it a 3.
I think this is the card that I think this is the driver for Secret Rogue. I think this is the best card in that deck. I'm giving this a 5.
Oh, wow. I
think this is a very strong card, just based off of seeing how it interacts. I think that if there is a Secret Rogue, it is because of this card here.
See, I'm surprised because I think the 1/5 is just better, and I think that the draw 2 is really good too. We'll get there later, but I think the other secret might be just as good.
I think that this to address the comment, I think that this in combination with the Shadow Jeweler is gonna go through and push that through. But I think that with really crappy rogue secrets, you wouldn't have as much of a chance with Secret Rogue. I think that this is the best rogue secret, and I think that it's gonna really push through.
You're right.
Yeah, but let me play devil's advocate for a second and say that Secret Rogue as an archetype kind of sucks. I mean,
yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, people were playing secrets. I remember, a year or 2 back when Dane made that big rogue deck, and we're putting secrets in to get big bodies at reduced cost.
For the effect. So they were doing that literally for the effect, which is what you're doing here with Bamboozle.
Right.
You were doing that with the effect to discount the card by 2 and put it back into your hand. And I mean, I think that we've gotten accustomed to Secret Mage because we're playing for the effects of other cards, where it's like you have the Cloud Prince that deals 6 damage when you have a secret. You don't really care which secrets are being played. I think here we don't have that many payoff cards, so you're doing it for what the secret says.
All right, next, did we all rate it? Yeah. Let's move on to our next card. So we got another secret. Ambush. After your 2 mana secret for Rogue. After your opponent plays a minion, summon a 2/3 ambusher with poisonous. I'm giving this a 2. Okay, that's all I have to say about this card.
2 is fine with me.
Yep. Yeah, so I think it's the same. This is almost identical to the Hunter secret. That's very similar, except that that's when your opponent attacks a minion. This is when your opponent plays a minion. So I think it's even a little bit better than the poisonous one for Hunter. But that one's not played at all. I think this one will be played because there are no other options, but it will be played.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. All right.
Yep, so we're moving on. Blackjack Stunner. It's a 1-mana 1/2 battle cry. If you control a secret, return a minion to its owner's hand. It costs 2 more.
I actually really like this. It feels very disruptive to me. Like, I mean, I know maybe we're trying to push Secret Rogue as some kind of new archetype, and I don't know how good that actually is, but like, just the effect of this, I think where this gets really fun is when I've got a secret and I play it on a obelisk or whatever it's called, or a, some big beefy thing that is like a 9 cost, and now they can't play it anymore, or Ysera or something like that. But it doesn't feel like bad tempo to me either, because 1 mana, return something to their hand. It is a freezing trap on a body, essentially. I don't know. I like it. I think it's really fun. I'm not quite sure how the archetype as a whole is going to work out. I'm a little skeptical, but I love the idea of the card. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think that this is just a better sap based on the condition that you have a secret up. So, assuming that you're playing a secret deck, right? My question is, how quickly is your opponent going to attack into the secret? Because you play a secret on 2, will it be proc the next turn? Most likely. So, the question that I have, you just have to play this alongside your secret. So, right. That's mostly what it is. So essentially it's kind of like, if you want to, for 3 mana you can play a secret and then sap a minion, which I think that's the way you really want to approach looking at this card. And sometimes you get the residual, I draw this later, I already have a secret up, I can sap, but it's great tempo. I think that it's good to have more sap options, because sap is a very good card in like tempo-based rogue decks. I think people don't remember that. But, I mean, this also, I was going to say this fits in odd rogue, but you can't play secrets in odd rogue. So, never mind on that.
Yeah, that would pose as a problem. In secret rogue, this is probably a 5. Like, you're going to play this in secret rogue.
Yeah, I think that you're playing all these cards in Secret Rogue, right? It's how much are they influencing it. I think this is a strong card in Secret Rogue. I think this is around a 4 power level for that, because the +2 is devastating. Because most of the time with sap, it's like, your opponent plays a turn, your opponent saps, does something little small or whatever, and then they're like, okay, I'll just repeat what I did last turn. With this, it's like, no, not really. You can't really do that. It costs 2 more.
Yeah. All right. No, I like it too, and I agree with your assessment. Like, I don't think you play a secret and then try to play this next turn. I think you want to try to play this.
You think want to do it at the same time. Yeah.
I mean, and it reminds me to some extent of like Medivh's Valet as far as tempo goes. Like you same type of thing where you've got to, you want to play a secret same turn if you have to, but the effect is very strong if you can make it work. I am okay scoring it high. I think it's a little bit tied to that deck. Like, I mean, obviously,
correct.
You're not going to play it in anything else, but I love the idea of a new archetype. I don't know how strong it's going to be, but I am okay scoring it high. I would say a 4 is appropriate.
I'm sticking with my 5.
5? Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm the one that's supposed to be flipping these cards. All right, here you go. Next one up is called the Ash Tongue Slayer. It is a rare 2 mana 3/2 battle cry. Give a stealth minion +3 attack and immune this turn. Which is those two things seem a little counterintuitive to me. Like, I would almost rather it say like give a stealth minion +3 attack and after it attacks, you give it stealth again.
I don't know. I like
but
it
like,
because it
it is.
Sorry, it makes it so that your stealth minion sticks around the turn that you.
That's true.
Like
No,
you
that's
know
true.
there'll be a target if you know what I mean.
I'm just happy that they're like with all this talk a couple years back of trying to use stealth minions as a class identity for rogue, and then there was no stealth minions that were even remotely playable. Like this doesn't feel like a bad card to me. It has kind of an aggressive stat line, but +3 attack and immune is great. Like you can use it for removal, so I don't dislike it. It has to be in the right deck. But I don't know. I think I am comfortable giving it like a 3 maybe.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 2.
I mean, if I gave Greyheart Sage a 1, I have to give this a 1 as well. So I mean, if this card read, however, I think this card would be a lot better if it read, give a stealth minion +3 attack, and if it's not stealth, give it stealth, right? Like give this turn or whatever. Like that would make this a good archetype. If you had a 2-drop that gave a minion stealth for a turn.
You know where this is really good? It's really good on the prime minion that's permanently stealthed. Like
hold on a second. Wait, hold on. Don't we have a spell that gives all of your minions stealth for a turn?
Yeah, conceal.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think about that with Greyheart Sage. We could potentially have a 4-mana draw too with Greyheart Sage.
I said that when we were talking about Greyheart Sage.
Did you? No,
Yeah.
you didn't.
Yes, I did. Listen
Okay,
back.
well, I'll give you that one then. I didn't think about that.
It's okay.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna say it as a 3. It feels fringe to me, 2.5. But
I'd like to stop the podcast for a second to say, Danny, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you, Craig. I appreciate that.
All right. I'm just gonna move along.
Good call.
Cursed Vagrant. This is a 7-mana 7/5 Death Rattle. Summon a 7/5 Shadow with Stealth. I like this.
I don't.
Hey, I don't. Here's the deal. Okay, this old big rogue deck had a lot of Death Rattle synergy. Maybe a lot is not the right word.
Yeah, but those were good death rattles.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's true.
a 7/5 with Stealth is not that bad, right? I mean, it feels to me like a win con. I don't know. I mean, 7 mana for this body is what I don't like. But if I can use that whatever it is to pull a 1/1 out of your, like a 1/1 copy out of your hand, that kills it, and then you've got a 7/5 with Stealth on the board. I don't dislike that.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of a build. It's a build around though. I mean, I'm okay giving this a 2. I think it's fringe because you kind of have to build your deck around it, and if it works, it really works, and if it doesn't work, then it's not so good. But
Hey, Nate, guess what I'm giving it?
you're giving it a 1
Yeah.
or a
Yep.
5, one or the other.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1 as well.
All right, that's fine. I'll give it a 2.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
All right, we have another secret. It's called Dirty Tricks. 2 mana common spell secret. After your opponent casts a spell, draw 2 cards.
I love this card.
I think it's pretty good.
Like 2 mana draw 2, and it's guaranteed to go off. Like this will always go off.
Unless your opponent's playing spiteful decks, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I do like that you draw 2 cards on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, that's true too.
I prefer drawing cards on my turn, to be honest.
Yeah, then you can control it, right? It's a little bit more controllable.
Yeah. Although, I mean, then you draw more cards on your next turn. I mean, it's just
That's a weird take.
well,
'Cause, like, you know what I mean? If you draw this off the top of your deck, I bet you wish that you could draw them on your turn.
I find the card interesting. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this all plays out. Like it could be a little busted. It could be really terrible.
Well, this
And
card definitely sees play in the secret deck, and I could see this card seeing play in other rogue decks that just want to draw some cards. Like,
Yep.
I don't know what, I don't know what card, what rogue
I
deck.
I mean, most rogues, right? Most rogues want to draw cards.
Well, not those odd
Most rogues
rogues.
want to draw cards. Yeah, they want to draw cards. They really do, but they can't.
Aw, poor odd rogues.
here's my take on it. I think of the new secrets, it is not the great one, but
Yeah, I think this is the worst of the new secrets, but I think that it's still a good enough power level to be like a good secret. Like,
it's better than
The
the old
other-
secrets.
yeah, I mean the other secrets for the old ones had purposes, I guess. Like the evasive one was like a very control rogue type thing. That's the only one that I thought really would be better than this. But
Yeah.
I think that this is top 4 out of the 6.
Yeah, Cheat Death is okay, but I like this more than Cheat Death.
Yep.
I
Cool.
give it a 2.
Well, I give it a 3.
I'm giving it a 3 as well.
Nate's always
Oops,
a pessimist.
I had you having a 23, Craig.
I
broke the
love Spy Mistress. 1 mana, 3/1, stealth. And I am surprised, because this is the first 1 mana, 3/1 we've seen. Usually we see a vanilla version first, but like, oh no, we have the 1 mana, 3/1 Wind Fury, but it has Overload. So this is the first, like, 1 mana, 3/1, I think, straight up.
I think you're right. I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, I think I'm right. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 98% sure. So this is cool, and the fact that it has stealth means that, like, this will almost always trade up. So I think this is pretty good, and like, it's hard because Odd Rogue is so focused on pirates. So I don't know if it would make it in there, but it is such
I think
an
you still
aggressive.
fit it in there, right? Like, you're not running Are you running Firefly still? This is probably better than Firefly.
Yeah, I like this more than Firefly, but most lists aren't playing Firefly anymore. Nate's
I thought
showing
you
me a
cut that
3
one
mana
out.
5/1 right now, and I'm not getting it.
We can start playing Shadow Rager. 3 mana 5/1 stealth.
I prefer the 1 mana 3/1. It seems like a bit of a better deal. Like, it's nice that you can always get a Cold Blood off on this on turn 2. Oh, Cold Blood costs 2 now. Never mind.
I don't dislike it. I'm not the greatest rogue player, so I'm a little, this makes me confused a little bit. I mean, I assume you probably just want to go face with it, or I guess you could take out their 2/3 with it or something like that.
Well, yeah, you could but you could keep this on the board for 3 turns, and it won't get dealt with by most classes. Like, I really like this card. I'm gonna give it a 3, only because I would give it a higher grade if it wasn't for how much rogues cared about pirates. I think it could still see some play though, so I'm giving it a 3.
I'll say 2. I don't know. I'm unsold, but we'll see. What do you think, Danny?
I mean, I think that it probably sees play in Odd Rogue. I think that it's playable. I think it's a 3.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
And that wraps up Rogue. Let's take a look at our scoring here. Oh, so we didn't check the thing for Priest last time around. So Priest was a 2.16.
No.
And Rogue is a 2.76.
Wow, good
So,
for Rogue.
so that's the highest one so far, I think. I think Rogue is the highest class besides Demon Hunter. And we
Well-
know that Demon Hunter is skewed.
I think that Rogue will be fun to try new stuff with. Where a lot of the
Yeah,
other classes, it's
that
like,
makes sense.
okay, how do we incorporate this into our existing stuff? Where, hey Craig, where this Rogue is like, hey, we get to try some new things, which I'm excited about. So,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, so Shaman, here we go.
Is Shaman our
Here's
last
our-
class?
No,
No,
Shaman-
we have Warrior and Warlock too.
Okay.
All right, let's just keep jamming.
Yep.
All right, here's our prime card. It is Lady Vosh, 3 mana. It's a legendary 3 mana, 4/3, spell damage +1, death rattle shuffle. Vosh prime into your deck. The prime is a 7 mana 5/4, spell damage +1, battle cry. Draw 3 spells, reduce their cost by 3. I'm
This
sure
is
that there is.
interesting.
I'm sure that there is a way to break this. I'm just not quite sure what it is.
I would think just playing Malygos in general probably would do that, because any spells you want to get off with Malygos cost 3 or less. So then they get discounted to 0, and you just hit them with the Malygos.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 3.
I'm comfortable with that. I think it sees. I think it sees play. I don't think it's super awesome, but I like it. All right. What do you rate it, Danny?
I give it a 3 as well.
Okay. All right, next up is the other class legendary, the Lurker Below. It is a 6 mana, 6/3 battle cry. Deal 3 damage to an enemy minion. If it dies, repeat this on an adjacent minion. Hey, it's that dragon from Battlegrounds.
Yeah, I like the. Well, yeah, it's similar. It's not the same, but it's similar.
By the way, didn't they? I think that they were gonna re-tag this to call it a beast, weren't they? Not that
They possibly were.
Not that it matters, but I thought I saw that somewhere.
Yeah,
I
think it's.
This card.
I think this is pretty good.
I think it's
this
1
is
mana
kind of-
too expensive.
I think that this could potentially be a pretty awesome board clear. What I like about it is that you get to choose. So the 3 damage to an enemy minion is like you get to choose the enemy minion, right? And
Yeah.
so you get to target it, and then you can look at the adjacent ones. What it forces your opponent to do is think a little bit more carefully about their board placement, which a lot of people don't really do so much right now.
Sure.
I mean, rolling fireball is a thing, but like I like this idea. Is it a little expensive? Yeah, but I think if it was 5 mana, it would be broken.
No, see, I think 5 mana is the sweet spot, and I think 6 mana is just a little too expensive for what you want to do with it. Personally,
Yeah. All right, that's fair enough. I think I give it a 4 personally.
any chance it sees play in Even Shaman as like a board flip?
As a board flip, I don't possibly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that this card is, in my opinion of this card, is that it is a board clear that has a body after, similarly to what you just said. So I don't know. I think that it's a good board clear though, because I think that it's deal 3 damage. It's unlike the Battlegrounds minion. You don't have to overkill it on the 3 mana. So the 3 damage rather. Mm-hmm. So I think that, I don't know, most are typically gonna just die. I think it's a fairly good board clear. I'm gonna give this a 4.
Oh wow, I'm giving it a 3, and I think I might be pushing a little high there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm at 4. I like the idea of it. I think that it reminds me very much of that dragon in Battlegrounds, and I think that it was like surprisingly powerful when it works. The hard part is it's not always going to work, but I like it. So, all right, next up. This is called Bogspire Knuckles. It is a 5 mana 4/2 epic weapon. After your hero attacks, transform your minions into random ones that cost 1 more. So this is some like token / evolve shaman fuel.
Yeah, it's okay because like the first time around, it's pretty bad. The second time you swing with it, it's pretty good, and I think it's pretty slow. So I don't think this is gonna do the job. I'm giving it a 1.
Yep, I'm in the same boat. I think it's just way too slow because you have so many other better evolve options.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I'd rather play the Death Knight.
See, I like this more than the Death Knight personally, but I don't think that says much.
I'm happy giving it a 1. I like the idea. I don't think that it's very practical. I would be happy if someone proved us wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next
All right.
card.
This is a Shattered Rumbler. It is a 5 mana 4/6 epic elemental with battle cry. If you cast a spell last turn, deal 2 damage to all other minions, including your own.
This is pretty cool, but I think it's pretty bad.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
I think they're starting to get a little more complex on the card text. And so I like the idea, but like I don't particularly want to clear my own board. I don't. The stat line is not bad, but I
2
don't.
damage isn't that much on turn 5 either.
No, and I don't really like it that much.
Yeah. You have to have played a spell before, and if you did a spell before, why didn't you clear their board?
And with overload, like a lot of shaman spells have overload, so a lot of the time you're not even playing this on turn 5. I say get out of here, and I'll give it a 1.
Yep, I'm gonna agree.
I agree.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Shatter
All
that
right.
Rumbler.
Okay, next up is called Bogstruck Clacker. It is a 3-mana 3/3 Battlecry transform adjacent minions into random minions that cost 1 more.
Is it bad that whenever I see an odd card in Shaman, I go, it's not playable?
Can you imagine this?
Yeah, it's not wrong.
In this and even Shaman would be pretty awesome if you play this in between a couple totems. I mean,
Well, it wouldn't be that good because your totems would cost 2 still. Get it? Because
You're not wrong.
yeah. I mean, it's some evolve fodder. I am not very confident about its ability. If
I'll give
someone
this
can
one
pull
a
it
2.
off,
I'm staying on 1.
I will say 1 as well. I mean, again, I hope someone like I'm not a Shaman player, not really.
But
I struggle to find a way to make this card work. I hope someone can, and then I can play it, but I don't really see it.
Well, Nate, what do you think about it in Standard?
I think it's a 0.
Next card.
Next card.
All right, Torrent. It is a 5-mana rare spell. Deal 8 damage to a minion. It costs 3 less if you cast a spell last turn.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are they trying to push though with some kind of spell shaman?
Wow, what gave that away?
Oh, shut up! You're fired. I just like of all the, it doesn't feel super good to me for the class. Like I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, maybe in an aggro build if you're running, Crackle or some kind of devolve or a Maelstrom Portal. I don't know.
Maybe a deck where you're running spells. I'm sorry. I don't think this card's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this in my spiteful Shaman deck. I think that'll work.
It's still better than playing it in an even Shaman.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Although you could draw it at the start of the game.
I feel like I feel like I'm getting a little more pessimistic about cards as the hours go on.
It has been.
That's also true.
This has been a very long show.
Speaking of that, let's rate this. I'm giving it a 1.
I'll give it a 1 as
1.
well. All right, Vivid Spores is a 4-mana rare. Give your minions Death Rattle. Resummon this minion. I think this is okay in a big Shaman deck, like in the right deck. It is just that particular deck was a tier 3 so-so deck about 2 or 3 years ago, and I just don't think that we're there. I mean, I took that deck to rank 3 a long time ago, and it hasn't been playable ever since. And I just think that the power level in Wild is way too strong for this to be good.
I like the callback
there's
to
a 2-mana
evolving.
version of
Sorry, I like the callback to evolving spores.
Yeah.
4 mana spells that do something to all your minions.
Mm-hmm. That is a very good one. But they also have the 2-mana card that does this, resummon this minion, and no one ever uses that ever. So I think that they do it on a specific minion if you had a purpose for it, and doing it for all your minions is great on 4 because it does that 2-mana thing to 10 different things.
Yeah.
Or 7 different things, but maybe not.
So I'm giving it a 1.
I give it a 1.
1.
Poor Shaman.
All right. Next up, Totemic Reflection is a 3-mana common spell. Give a minion +2/+2. If it's a totem, summon a copy of it. So I mean, not that this fits in even Shaman, but
let's talk about if it did cause. Good idea.
I love the
like
idea of this on like a totem golem or something, but like
this is enough for me to try Totally Totems again.
Totally Totems!
Yeah.
What's the best deck name?
I have to try it. Like put this on a totem golem on turn 3, and you're really with. I guess you'd have to have a coin to do that, but you're really laughing
with the
at
overload.
That point. You know?
Yeah, I like the idea. I don't think it's actually feasible. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 1. I wish that I could give it higher. I like the idea, but I don't think it's actually good.
This will be good in that brawl where every minion is every type.
I could tell. I would say if it was 2 mana, it would probably be busted.
Yeah, and in standard? I'm just kidding. I'm giving it a 1. Like, totems never work unless you're even.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you summon all 4, you can summon Alucard the Windlord. All right.
You notice that the majority of these spells are all odd. I think they recognize that even Shaman is an issue.
Yeah, yet they print broken mage cards. Fuck.
Are you gonna? Yeah. Hey, somebody make odd. Let's make odd Shaman a thing. All right. Next up is Marsh Spawn. It is a 3 mana common, 3/4 elemental with a battle cry. If you cast a spell last turn, discover a spell.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not gonna see play though.
Yeah,
I give it
a
no.
1.
Yeah, not in. Yeah, a 1 is fine.
What about in standard?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I heard you. You almost said not in 1.
I almost did. I stopped myself.
This isn't
Alright.
the most interesting card spell that we've seen so far, I think.
Serpent Shrine Portal is a 3 mana common. Deal 3 damage. Summon a random 3-cost minion. Overload 1.
This probably will see play.
I think this is a lot
aggro
better.
Shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I
Any
like.
Shutter Shaman.
Yeah, it's 3 damage anywhere, so you could still use it to phase.
Yeah, and it summons a 3-cost minion.
I could see it in an aggro build. It is less sucky than the other cards. I still think it's maybe a 2.
Well, I think it's pretty decent in aggro shaman. It's like a little baby fire. It was a little baby fire lance portal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I unfortunately I think that the class as a whole, like even Shaman is so much better than everything else that like, how do you fit this in? Like
I think that this is more or less just a card for like Shudderwalk Shaman, right?
Oh.
Shudderwalk Shaman needs early board removal.
yeah, okay.
And develops a board
This is
deck.
where I'd put it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
fair
a
enough.
2-for-1.
Like, a lot of the time you're going to get like a 2/3 or a 3/3, so it's decent.
Yeah, it's a 3/3. I think the average stat line is like a 3.3 something. So 3 mana, 3/3.
Oh, I
is
think it
average.
would be closer to in the 2s.
I think that these cards sucked so much that we were able to blast through Shaman really fast.
Yep.
Oh, is that the
So
last
what are we
Shaman
rating this
card?
card?
It
Yes.
is.
So
It
what?
is.
1.3 is what Shaman's average card was.
Yep. What did we rank that last card?
I gave it a 2.
I gave it a.
It could be a
2 as
3.
well.
I think I give it a 2, but it could be.
I did as well.
So what was our overall there?
Our overall was
1.3.
1.63.
Okay, not bad.
Okay. All right. Warlock is next. My favorite class.
I'm getting giggly.
Yeah. Well, it's getting late. Your time. Jeez. It's getting
Danny's
late. My
due.
time.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
I'm up late.
Danny,
All right, let's
you're
do this.
handsome, man.
Thank you.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Okay, let's continue.
All right. Okay. Here's our prime card for Warlock.
Optimus.
Canrithad, Ebonlock. Your demons cost 1 less. Death Rattle. Shuffle Canrithad Prime into your deck. The Prime card says it's an 8 mana 7/6. Battle Cry. Summon 3 friendly demons that died this game.
This has promise.
I can't wait for Get Me Out or someone to just absolutely break this card. I like the idea. I could see it being played in Cube Lock for sure, or Reno Lock, or something. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, it could even see playing Zoo.
I think for me it's a 4.
Like Demon Zoo.
I don't know, but I like it.
I'll give it a 4.
It's probably going to see play. I'll give it a 4 as well.
Thanks, Danny.
Awesome. All right, next up is Caladan the Breaker. It's legendary 6-mana 3/3 battle cry. Destroy a minion if drawn this turn. Instead, destroy all minions except this one.
I love this card. Like I think,
Yeah, this is a really good card.
yeah, at its base, it's a 6-mana 3/3 destroy a minion, which is good, and then it's insane when you top deck it. So I'm giving this a 5.
I'm
giving this a 5 as well.
I agree. Yep.
The unfortunate thing is that you have to treat this as a Siphon Soul as opposed to the Twisting Nether. But I mean, most of the time, if you don't have it and you know that it's going to come to the top, you can treat it as a Twisting Nether.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
I like the idea. It's just something new, and I think it's exciting. All right, Shadow Council. It is a 1-mana epic spell. Replace your hand with random demons. Give them +2/+2. I like this in certain Warlock decks. I think especially when you have a handful of garbage. Even if you get crappy demons, giving them the +2/+2 buff is not too bad, in my opinion.
I wonder if this sees play in Darkest Hour as like a
may.
backup plan, and when you draw the junk part of your deck.
That's not a bad idea. That's what I was thinking about it. Darkest Hour is the place where I would see play with this.
I agree.
Yeah, outside of that, like, there's not a whole bunch else that I could see its application.
I mean, some Darkest Hours used to run Rafam, right? Specifically so that when if you didn't draw him, you could turn your deck into legendaries.
Yeah, and this is better than that, I think.
Yeah. I think so, especially because it's a spell. Because you're doing it on the garbage stuff that's left over.
Yeah, I think I call this a 3. It's definitely playable. I think it has to be in the right deck because our cube locks and our Mechathuns and our Reno locks are very careful about what cards they run, and you don't want to you don't want to turn all your stuff into random other stuff.
Yeah.
But in Darkest Hour, it can be really good.
I'm giving it a 2 because I don't know how good it'll be in Darkest Hour either. Like, sometimes it's just going to be dead. So I'm going to give it a 2 for now. See what
Okay, I'm going to give it a 2 as well.
All right. Next up, we have Dark Glare. It is a epic 3-mana 3/4 demon. After your hero takes damage, refresh 2 mana crystals.
This is cool.
This is pretty crazy.
It lets you get free taps in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
I like it.
And
I
like
like
in
it.
even or wait, no. Never mind. I was gonna say an even Warlock and it gives you back mana, but he can't play it in even Warlock.
I'm not quite sure how to use and abuse this card quite yet. I think
it's more a zoo card. I think this is something that you play when you're playing zoo style deck because
Like-
you need them. You're limited in zoo a lot of the time by your curve, and tapping is a bit of a pain in the butt because you have to go through and like you curve into you go like a 3, then you tap on turn 4, put a 2-drop out. You can get more contents out, and instead of playing just 2 cards every turn, you can play 3-4 cards, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, and there's cards like Crystallizer that let you damage yourself for free, and Flame Imp. Like, there's lots of cool little cards like that could work with this.
Yep.
Zoo makes sense. I'm gonna say a 3 because I think it's playable. Again, I think it requires the right deck.
That's all cards, though.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on. I don't even want to talk to you anymore.
I'm sorry. I gave it a 2.
All right, no, 2 is probably more accurate.
I'm sorry. I'm being a little silly, Billy.
Oh, it's okay. I'm really tired as well. All right, the Dark Portal, 4-mana rare spell, draw a minion. If you have at least 8 cards in your hand, it costs 5 less. Like, do we put this in Mechathoon?
I don't think so.
Maybe. Maybe you do this, and then you just play Cataclysm straight.
Yeah,
Right?
you'd have to be your only minion, though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Or-
Well,
Not
that's
necess-
one
no,
of the
but-
things.
no, but
that's
I-
the only deck you would. Go ahead.
But in that deck, right? It plays all these other crappy cards that you're using to try to thin your deck. So
Yeah.
worst case scenario, not only do you draw a card, you also reduce the cost. Like, I don't know. I mean, okay, I don't remember the name of it. What's the legendary minion that increases your hand size to 12 and draws 4? You know what I'm talking about?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, yeah, I know which one.
Yeah.
4/4.
It I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic because 8 cards in hand is hard to come by, and I think that for 4 mana I would probably rather be playing something better, but I would give this a 2.
I wish this was around when Nagasi, which cost 5.
That would be dumb.
Holy crap! You need to draw
You could
Naga.
probably play. Yeah, I'm thinking about this. Naga Warlock coming back.
You know what? This could be the way to at least try it, because if you draw a giant, you're playing it for free most of the time.
Yeah, so you could play hand lock, right? Oh, whoa! This you could see play in even lock.
That's true.
That's true.
That's a
true.
You're
good
going to be
point.
playing 8 cards in at least 8 cards for the first couple of turns.
Yeah, you could get
Something to
some
consider.
big stuff. You can get a 0 mana 7/7.
Yeah.
All right. I give
I'm
it a
gonna
2. But I hope somebody do something cool with it.
I'm a 2 as well.
I'm going to give it a 3 because of that even Warlock.
Nice. Always a
Idea.
pessimist. Always an optimist, you.
Always an optimist, I am.
Unless you're a pessimist. Okay, next up, Enhanced Dreadlord. It is a rare 8 mana 5/7 demon, taunt, death rattle, summon a 5/5 Dreadlord with lifesteal.
Do you know where I like this card a lot? I'll just tell
I like
you.
it.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Even Warlock, because right now, like for the longest time, even Warlock hasn't had big demons to bring back with Gul'dan. And this is like a big demon to bring back with Gul'dan. So I think this is a pretty easy inclusion in that deck, so that you're not just getting 4/4s.
And now you also have the 6 mana taunt girls who summon demons, right? I don't know the name of the card, but it's
Yep.
a 2/2 that summons a demon for the number of cards in your hand.
Yes.
With that stats.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And I
card.
think those demons come back at the same stats they were summoned.
They
with
do.
Gul'dan.
They do.
Ooh,
So
that
I
seems
think
spicy.
that-
All right.
I think that even like this is something that I don't mind getting pulled off the Dark Portal.
Yes.
Like I think that this set has revived Evenlock to a degree.
I like that. Yeah.
I'll try. I'm gonna try it. I think this is my day one deck.
I really like the stats on this card as well. Like, I think that this is good enough of a demon to bring back with Gul'dan that I would be playing it in pretty much, like, play it in Arena Lock. I think I would go so far as to play it in a Cube Lock even. It doesn't have charge, but like I really like the body.
Yeah, I think it's a little slow for Cube Lock when you have Void Lord and Doomguard and.
Yeah, no. But here's the thing: like you don't play it for 8 mana. You cheat it out with Void Caller.
Yeah, I just
Right.
think there's better targets when you're not constricted to mana, even or
Yeah.
odd. But you might be right.
Well,
Maybe it is good enough.
I don't know. I love this card. I want to give it a 4. I really like it.
I'm giving it a solid. I'm giving it a 3.
I'm somewhere in between. I think that even Warlock is going to be more like, especially running this Paladin card. I think it's more likely than not to be a thing. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Nice.
All right.
I'm always a pessimist.
All right, here we go. Imprisoned Scrap Imp. It is a rare 2 mana 3/3 demon, dormant for 2 turns. When this awakens, give all the minions in your hand +2/+2. I'm just gonna give it a 1. I don't like this. I think
Same.
we've seen other zoo decks way back when try to do this hand buff stuff for Warlock, and it never worked out very well. And I'm totally over it.
Agreed.
Yay, that was fast. Okay. Unstable Fellbolt. It is a 1 mana common. Deal 3 damage to an enemy minion and a random friendly one.
I'm giving this a 1.
Yep.
We have.
Yeah, I don't
Plague
see
of Flames.
myself ever
Yep.
playing this, and yeah, I agree. One is accurate.
That's what Plague of Flames should have been.
Yeah.
All right.
sure.
Hand of Gul'dan. It is a 6-mana common spell. When you play or discard this, draw 3 cards.
I love this card.
We
Yeah.
saw this played in the reveal stream, and it was busted. Like, he drew through his whole deck super fast.
Like
and,
that. Oh, sorry, didn't go.
Oh, I mean, 6 mana draw 3 is not bad. And there
It's
are,
the discard part that's big, and we have that in Zoo. Like, this changes the way you build Zoo entirely.
Like that
Yeah.
2-mana 2/1 that discards your highest cost card. Like,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, we saw it. It was very easy to proc, so I think that this is very strong. I'm not quite sure how to rate it quite yet.
I'm
I
giving
think
it
it's
a
definitely.
3.
I think I give it a 3 as well. It's definitely playable.
Yep, I'm in the same boat.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, last Warlock card is called Nightshade Matron. It is a common minion 4-mana 5/5 demon with rush. Battlecry, discard your highest cost card.
Oh, I didn't even know
Speaking of-
about this one.
So that
Speaking
synergizes
of-
as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Because now we have 2 cards that discard your highest cost card.
yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for someone to make discard Warlock a thing.
I like this.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. I like the rush also.
Well, and the overstated. I'm thinking this is in a discard lock, of course. I think this is a solid 3.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm gonna bump this one down because I don't think you necessarily need to run this in the discard lock. I think that Hand of Gul'dan is an auto include in that. I think that this is potentially might be better discard type cards.
I'm not sure just
Yeah,
because
but
of
even-
how overstated it is.
Even if you have no cards in hand, it's a 4-mana 5/5 rush. Like, I don't know. I like the stat line.
Let's prove Danny wrong on day 1.
3. That's a 3 for
Yeah,
me.
Danny, you gave it a 2?
I gave it a 2. Yes.
All right.
All right. So that's all the Warlock cards. What is your guess on what we gave Warlock?
I think a little higher. I'm thinking closer to a like 2.75, maybe a 3.
I think this one broke the 3 barrier.
It was close, but this is the second highest class we ranked. Behind Rogue, it is a 2.7.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Rogue at 2.76.
All right. Warrior. Here we go. Here's the prime. It is Kargath Blade Fist. Is a 4-mana 4/4 rush. Death Rattle Shuffle the prime into your deck. The prime is an 8-mana 10/10 with rush. Whenever this attacks and kills a minion, gain 10 armor.
So that second one is nuts, right?
Yes.
That's kind of crazy. But the major issue you have with this card is that it's not an odd card. It's an even card.
If it was an odd card, it would be just busted. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the best card they'd printed ever. But yeah, I'm not super thrilled about this to that degree. It's a powerful card, I think, but it's not busted.
Yeah, I gotta give it a 2. I just don't see the deck where it goes.
I'm gonna
in.
give it a 3.
I think I'm okay with a 3. Like, it feels powerful enough. I don't love it. If it didn't have the rush, I would give it a 2, probably.
Oh, yeah, without the rush, it's not even close.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The rush helps. Okay, instead of a legendary minion, they have a legendary weapon. So it is a 3-mana 1/4 called Bulwark of Azeroth. Whenever your hero would take damage, this loses 1 durability instead. This is interesting.
Oh, it's really good in Odd Warrior, right?
Yeah, in Odd, I think it's probably an auto include.
It's just like even if you play this on turn 3, you're guaranteeing yourself to get to like late in the game.
Yeah. I don't enjoy playing Odd Warrior because I don't like 45-minute long games, but I think that it's very strong in that deck. I give it a 3.
If Pirate Warrior ever became tier 1 again, do you think this could be like the Mirror Breaker?
The Mirror Breaker. I like that.
All right, what do you think, Danny?
I'm in the same boat. I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, I agree.
I like this next one. The flavor of it is fun. So it's
Yeah.
called Warmaul Challenger. It is a 3-mana epic. It is a 1/10 battle cry. Choose an enemy minion, battle it to the death. So they just attack each other until one dies, but the health line is so high that this has a really good chance of winning.
And if you play this with like a frothing berserker on board,
Yes. Yeah. Or an axe
so
thrower.
this is what
or
I've dubbed the token killer. This
Yep.
is the death of Odd Paladin.
I wish it had taunt.
Imagine this.
Well, but this is only I mean, yeah.
But so let's say you have a 2/2 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You challenge a 2/2. This becomes a 1/6. Then that 1/6 kills off all of the little 1/1s that pop up throughout the game. I think that we've never had a stat line this spread out and that big. We never had something at 10 health on 3 mana. I think that's significant and something
Agreed.
that we should definitely not underestimate.
No. This card is bonkers to me. I think for me it's a 4. I mean, I don't think it's broken, but I think it's going to be playable. I mean, also it's an odd cost. Like this for me feels like an auto include an odd warrior as well.
Yeah, it's something to put in. I'm not sure if this. I'm not sure what you cut for this, but I think that it's definitely an odd warrior card. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 4 too.
It is cool that it comes down damage pretty much. Like, so if you have a damage synergy card, you know, whatever. But 2 seems fine. Might even be a 1, but I think it's hopefully a 2.
Part of this extra score for me, I think, is I like when they do new things, and so this battle cry is exciting for me. Okay, next up is Blade Storm. It is a 3-mana epic spell. Deal 1 damage. Repeat to all minions. Deal 1 damage to all minions. Repeat until one dies.
So it's the opposite of Defile.
I've seen a lot of people poo-poo on this card, but I think it's pretty good. Like, if they have one big minion, it's great. If they have a few, a few minions with the same health, that's pretty good. Like, I don't think it's insane, but I think it's fairly good.
If
I
you
mean,
can,
oftentimes, think about this. You're playing up against a secret mage, and then they have 4 minions on board. They have the 2/3, another 2/3. They have a 4/4 and a 5/5. And this kills 2 of the minions and deals 3 damage to the other ones for 3. That's okay.
Yeah, and you're
It's not bad. It's not great, but it's okay. That's more or less the board you're gonna be thinking about with this.
What I like
and then
about-
obviously if your opponent has like a 1-cost minion, you just use that Wormall Challenger that's left over from the prior thing, ping that off and go.
what I really like about this is, like, say your opponent plays a like a Deathwing or something. Like, so the board is empty and they've got a 12/12. Like, you play your 3-mana spell and it's going to kill it. Like,
That's true. You can use it for single target removal if they don't have anything. That's interesting.
and you're gonna get so many Grim Patrons.
you just play this with Dreadsteed and break the game, right?
No, because the Dreadsteed dies.
Oh yeah, they
stops
fixed it. I'm
immediately.
sorry, they fixed it. Yes, okay. I like the card. I think again in Odd Warrior this makes a lot of sense because it's a control type card. So I think I will give this a 3. I like the idea and I think it is playable.
Nice. I'm giving
There's
it.
just so many board clears in Warrior, though. I think that it's a fringe type thing. Maybe if you're making a Reno Warrior, you play this, but I don't think it's a normal inclusion. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Yeah.
We'll have so many cards. I'm gonna have a Reno deck for each class. Don't worry.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm giving it
for sure.
I'm giving it a 2 as well, just because I think Warrior has a lot of incredible board clears.
All right. Here's your Pirate Warrior card. Corsair's Cache. It's a rare spell. 2 mana. Draw a weapon. Give it +1/+1.
I think it's a 1.
This actually could see play in the Galakron decks as well. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I'm okay. It's a 1 or a 2 for me, but I find it interesting.
It makes Gorehowl pretty good.
That makes Gorehowl really good.
It would be better in Rogue.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think for me it's a 2.
I'm giving
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna give it a 1 as well.
Fair enough. All right. Next up, Blood Boil Brute. It is a 7 mana, 6/8 rare. It has Rush, and it says costs 1 less for each damaged minion.
I think it's a 1.
I think it's really slow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how often are you actually going to reduce the
I mean,
cost
even if you
on
get
this?
this discounted by like I don't know. If you get it discounted by 2, you have to have 2 damage minions on board for a 6/8. 5 mana 6/8. You probably spent your mana damaging those minions.
Yeah, I give it a 1.
Yeah.
All right, Scrap Golem. It is a 5 mana rare 4/5 mech taunt death rattle. Gain armor equal to this minion's attack.
Yeah, this is all right.
It's interesting. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I don't think it's bad.
I like that it gives you armor. That's something that a lot of the... Like, if you're thinking about death rattles for odd warrior, a lot of the death rattles don't do much. Like, you'll run Apple Bomb or something like that because you know you're just going to take a ton of damage. Getting the armor is a lot better. This, compared to, like, Rotten Apple Bomb, is much, much better.
Well, it's a mech, too, which makes it incredible with Ziliax as well.
Yeah, with Dr. Boom. And Dr. Boom's coming back, so...
That's right, and Ziliax, so... And Snip Snap. Like, there's a lot of cards that this synergizes. This is just better than Rotten Apple Bomb. Rotten Apple Bomb already sees playing the deck. I think this is a 3. Probably a 3.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid 3 for me too.
It kind
I
of
like
looks
it.
like Mechanical Yeti.
Yeah. Except a lot better.
Yeah. I was just talking about the art,
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, Sword and Board. It's a 1 mana common. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Gain 2 armor.
I give this a 1.
Yeah, I don't think it's like. I mean, I don't
I
know.
mean, it seems like the reason they're printing this, right? It seems like every class now is going to have a 1 mana deal 2 damage plus upside type thing. Like
Yeah.
they have one in Druid, which is the Spellstone. They have the Priest one is just 1 mana deal 3 to a minion. The one in Hunters just 1 mana deal 2 damage. Like it seems like every class is slowly going to get a version of this.
Yeah.
It's not ever played in any of the classes except for Druid, who's using it for removal because they have no better options.
Yeah, and Mage, because Mage loves 1-cost spells.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 1.
I agree. That's fine.
1.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Bone Chewer Raider. It is a 3 mana 3/3 battle cry. If there is a damaged minion, gain +1/+1 and rush.
1.
Yes, just the pre-existing condition, if you will, is not worth the mana that it's gonna take to achieve that, and I just it's too fringe for me. It's difficult to pull off, and there's better 3-drops, so I give it a 1.
Yep, same.
Glad we're all on the same page here.
Okay.
And I think we can do the same on the next one too.
Imprisoned Ganarg. It is a 1 mana common 2/2 demon, dormant for 2 turns. When this awakens, equip it at 3/2 fiery wind axe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page here. It's a 5.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Moving right along.
It was a
All
1.
right, so our next warrior, our warrior score,
It's 1.
it's actually a 2.
All right. That's the odd warrior support I think is pretty good actually. The rest of the stuff is garbage. So
It's funny though. Druid. We gave Druid a lower score than that. I would have thought the Druid did better, but
all right.
it's interesting.
I'd like
All
to
we got-
take this time quick to thank Shokunin and Pug Ugly for supporting our show in such a big way. The neutral cards are brought to you by them.
I love it.
So speaking of neutral cards, sometimes they do have. We're going to start out with some of the big bangs at the beginning, but when we get to like the commons, we probably can speed through most of these.
I agree.
We'll see.
All right. Well, first up is Kelthea
Well, it depends if
Sunstrider.
Nate wants to talk about them from a standard perspective or not.
I do not. Leave me alone.
Well, in standard,
all right.
this one... Okay.
Oh, shush. All right, we already know this card is broken.
Yeah.
Kelthea Sunstrider is the legendary 6 mana 4/7. Every third spell you cast each turn costs 0. We got to play with this early, and people have already broken the game in Druid. So I give it a 5.
Yep.
And it counts the spells you play before you play him, right?
Yes, it does.
That's nice. Just
So you can innervate on 4 and then play a UI.
yeah.
All right. Next up, we have another legendary. It is Terran Gorefiend. It is a 3 mana 3/4 battle cry. Destroy all friendly minions. Death Rattle. Resummon them with +1/+1.
I'm giving this a
think-
5 too.
I think so too. This card's awesome. I could play it.
Yeah.
because it's neutral. Like, man, you could play this in. I could play it in Hunter really easy. I could play it in Warlock really easy.
Yeah.
You can play it in a lot of stuff. I mean, it's yeah, I love this card.
I think it's really solid.
Like, they didn't need to give this good stats, you know, and they did.
I know, right? Yeah, this is a day one craft for me for sure.
The
Like, I
only
think this card
scary
is-
thing, like, you need to kill this, right? Like, if there's any chance that your opponent,
you need to kill them. So the big thing is that most of the time you're playing this against like an egg hunter that has minions that spawn from their death rattle things. You need to kill this off first so that there are other minions on the board when, like, because let's say they have 5 minions on the board. And then those 5 minions die, 5 more pop up, and then this thing's here. You need to go through and kill this while there are currently other minions on the board.
Yep.
So the other ones that spawn from him don't actually spawn.
yeah, but how bad is it gonna feel when this gets silenced?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you play it in either Warlock or
Yeah, an egg archetype.
in Hunter, then you have ways to proc it yourself. So I think that's
and
fine.
you're probably not as hurt if you made a few dinosaurs out of it.
Psh, nobody plays silence anyways.
Well, Zephyrus
Except Demon Hunter, they have that 1 mana spell.
and Zeph.
Zephyrs.
I wonder if this card's gonna be missed with the Zephyrus code, like the same way that Apothecary was.
I don't know. They say they keep improving Zephyr, so who knows?
Yeah.
Anyways, I give it a 5. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, me too.
Okay, next up is Alar. It is a legendary 5 mana 7/3 elemental death rattle. Summon a 0/3 Ashes of Alar that resurrects this minion on your next turn. I think this is total poo. I give it a 1.
Yep.
Yeah, this is that
One
card
of
that you're not wanting to open.
This is like a lot worse Pyros, right?
It's a lot worse than a
whatever.
lot of stuff.
All right, yeah, I give it a 1. I like the card art; it's beautiful. It'll be my golden legendary. Okay, on the other hand, I think this card is absolutely bananas.
Oh, finally a good dormant card.
Yeah.
This is the only good dormant
But
card.
not for me.
Okay, so Maeve Shadow Song as a neutral minion instead of a rogue minion, which I think is very interesting. But it is a 4 mana 4/3 with the battle cry. Choose a minion; it goes dormant for 2 turns, which is absolutely bonkers. So when you use this on a Void Lord or anything that has a death rattle or a mech that has been magnetized a bunch of times, like it just falls asleep for 2 turns. Like,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, it keeps everything though. So like if they play a cube and cube their Doomguard and you play this on the cube, when that cube comes out of its dormant, it'll still have 2 Doomguards
Oh
inside
yeah,
of it.
no, yeah, that's totally fine. I think this is a 4 mana buy yourself 2 turns. Like, this is how you get around a Void Lord for lethal or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
It's a better silence, right? Like, you know how you're running a tech card. Most of the time you run tech cards, you run a spell breaker, right? You run the 4 mana 4/3 silence. This is now the 4 mana 4/3 silence that's better.
Yeah, agreed.
Like,
This is another 5 for me.
Yeah, 5 here.
Me too.
This is, if I could give a 6, this is probably one of the better. I mean, Kel'Thuzos is probably the most broken card they've printed out of all this stuff, I think. But this is a close second.
yeah, I don't know about that, but I think it's in the top 5, top 10.
Yeah, I give it a 5 as well. All right, next up is Magtheridon. It is a legendary 4 mana 12/12 demon dormant battle cry. Summon 3/1/3 enemy warders. When they die, destroy all minions and awaken. So what this does is it summons 3/1/3s for your opponent.
I think
And then you have to kill them, and then you get a 12/12.
this is the best dormant card. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
your dormant.
Like actually dormant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad. I mean, here's the other thing. Well, never mind. I was thinking about, like, hey, what if you put this, like, what if this is in your hand and you play like a Void Caller, but then the battle cry just won't trigger and it'll just be permanently dormant, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing about pulling these. This is where Dirty Rat becomes really strong, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If this becomes a strong card, you play Dirty Rat, this never summons.
And it takes
Yeah.
up a spot on your board for the whole game.
Yeah.
What I really like about this card is I think it synergizes really well with Druid of all classes because of, like, you play it down on turn 10, you can play Spreading Plague alongside of it. That's one option.
Wow.
Like, there's a lot of...
That's a good card.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things, but the problem is with Druid, now that I think about it, you can't because Oaken summons.
Well, you don't necessarily need to play Oaken Summons with Kel'Thalas, right?
That's true, actually. You're right with
Kel'Thalas
Kel'Thalas.
has started to get the deck away from that and go more towards just a pure cycle version of the deck. You can
Yeah.
probably slot that in if you're just purely cycling.
I've been playing it in Jade Druid, which still plays the Oaken summons, even with Kel'Thalas. But yeah, this card's cool, man. Like, I do think Spreading Plague offers a lot, and you could also play this alongside Poison Seeds for a quick clear. I think it synergizes pretty well with Druid, and maybe I don't know where else do you think it would go there, Danny? Warlock?
I think maybe, probably some sort of Warlock. That's the only place I would really want to play it. But
Yeah. And like, I don't think the downside, like, if you play this on turn 4 and they get to attack with 3/1/3s, I don't think you're crying your eyes out if you can kill them on turn 5.
yeah, oh yeah. Oh, you get a 12/12. Well, the whole thing is that you have to kill them off, and then everything blows up on your board. It's like you play a Deathwing,
Yeah.
but you don't discard your hand.
Yeah. I heard you on Well Met say that this is like what the darkness should have been.
Yes, I agree.
I agree
This
with
is what
that
the darkness should have
100%.
been.
Yep.
Oh, and it's Big Priest Disruption.
That was. Yes, you can play that. You can play the 1/3s. Although now you have Zoldrak Ritualist, so that's a thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested in this. I'm not quite sold on it. I think for me it's a 2.
I'm giving it a 3 because I think Druid might legit be interested in this.
I like the idea of it, and if it works, it's pretty cool. I like that it is neutral. So, but
Yeah, that's what's given me a. That's why I'm going to give it a 3. If it was a specific class, it would be a 2. But it has a lot of potential opportunities.
yeah.
Cool. Next card.
Okay, Moarg Artificer. It is an epic 2 mana 2/4 demon. All minions take double damage from spells.
Like, it's not the worst card, but I don't think it's gonna see much play. There might be like some kind of combo I'm missing here, but I don't think so.
It's only minions though. It doesn't go face.
And there's
Yeah, nothing.
That's why I don't think that I'm giving this a 1 because, I mean, most board clears now are just. I give it a 2 actually, because I think that most board clears that you'd want to play would be like all or nothing type stuff, Twisting Nether. Like, there's never really a break point. You're not playing this and then playing. You'd rather play a board clear like Psychic Scream.
I'm curious
Right.
how this interacts with explosive runes.
Oh my god!
Like, would they
Oh
take?
my god!
Would they take if they played a
Stop
2
it.
health minion? Would they take 10?
Stop it! That's you're not wrong. That's how it works. I think.
I think so too.
No
actually,
way.
As long as
Yeah,
this,
because it's-
the only thing I'm not sure about is if Hearthstone considers a secret a spell when it's already on the battlefield.
It's so it does because any spell damage that if you have a Malagos on board and there's an explosive runes, you take that 5 extra damage.
You're right. So maybe this he's playing Secret Mage.
This is Secret Mage.
wow.
That is so good. Oh my god,
I'm-
that's a great one.
I'm gonna get on Trollden with
I'm
this.
bumping my score to a 3.
All right, that's a 2 from me.
Yeah, same here too.
Okay.
Hey, this will see play.
All right. Next up
I'll play it in
is
Secret Mage. I'll get a bunch of wows.
Okay, next up is Replicatotron. It's a epic 4-mana 3/3 mech. At the end of your turn, transform a neighbor into a copy of this.
I think this
Like-
card is sneaky good.
I don't know. I think that it's a worse, like, what is the 4-mana 4/4 that, or is it 5-mana 4/4 that transforms another thing into a 4/4 and it has rush?
No, but this, yeah, I know what you mean, but this is like, so imagine this, Nate. We play our Galvanizer, right, and we get a discount on all our cards in hand. Maybe we played something to buff our hand a little bit, and then we play this down and we strap it up with a couple magnetic minions. So now you have a 10/9 lifesteal because of Ziliax and something else, and now this.
And your galvanizer then becomes it.
Yeah, so your Galvanizer will also be a 10/9 lifesteal taunt Divine Shield.
Okay.
So I think this.
Yeah, I think that this especially, like, consider this too, like, this happens every single turn. So for the first turn, right, you have a token minion on there. You can literally just play this as a 4-mana 3/3. It copies to 2 of them. You play it, you hero power, you play this. Like, you have 2 3/3s. You buff one of them up really big. That gets copied, and all the copies make copies.
Oh, gross. Okay, yeah, especially in Mech Paladin. All right, I have changed my mind. This is like a 4.
Yeah,
probably.
especially because you're going to be most games you will buff this before it hits the board. Most games.
Yep.
So I'm giving
agree
this
on
an
that.
easy 4 because I think this
Yeah.
will be a mainstay in the archetype.
I do think it's a little slow. I'm gonna give it a 3, but I do think that it is going to be in that deck, but I think it's gonna be slow.
Yeah.
Kind of like how what's the name of what's the mech that's 4 mana that's a 2/4 with taunt? That one's not being played in some lists anymore because it's too slow.
Anoia module.
Yeah, Noya module is not being played in certain lists now.
Yeah.
So
I can see.
you gotta find a spot for it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Next up is Waste Warden. It is an epic 5-mana 3/3 battle cry. Deal 3 damage to a minion and all others of the same minion type.
It's cute, but I don't think it's good.
I like the idea of it. I don't know what deck benefits from it is the problem that I have. Like, maybe it is good
I don't know what
against
deck
even
gets
Shaman
hurt
or
by
Totem
it,
Shaman.
right?
I really
or
don't
something
think
like
it
that.
is.
Like,
I know
They
of a lot
usually
of
buff their
control decks that
totems
would consider
to
it.
about 4 health is like where they'll normally end up
Did I freeze again?
because of plus 2 health. So I think this isn't going to be good.
yeah, I agree. I really like the idea of it, but I think that we give it a 2. Like, I just don't think it's probably good enough.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 1 personally. Like, this reminds me of EMP Operator, where it's just too expensive for something that isn't gonna work. Like, don't get me wrong, if Murloc Paladin becomes tier 1 again one day, then suddenly this sees some play. But as of the meta right now, I just think it's what deck could ever afford to play this, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. I think I would give it a 1, actually.
Well, I think the thing you really want to look at with this, and I'm back now, bam, is that what deck really gets hurt by this? It's only synergistic decks. The only thing you're really targeting is, like, Mech Paladin. There's nothing else that really, and maybe dragons, but dragons taking 3 damage for 5 mana 3/3, deal 3 damage to everything. You probably have a better board clear specific for that. I'd rather have a board clear that clears everything than just this.
Yeah.
It's cute, and I like the idea, but I don't think it's good enough. Unfortunately, I think it's like a 1.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 1 as well.
All right, next up, Scrapyard Colossus. It is a rare 10 mana 7/7 elemental taunt death rattle. Summon a 7/7 fell cracked Colossus with taunt. So it's a 10.
Silence is too pervasive to deal with this. I think, like, that dormant card's gonna be played in a lot of decks.
Yeah, and
the Maeve.
And like 10 mana 7/7 taunt, like I don't know. I just think like our 10 mana slots are kind of few and far between, and I'd rather play something more dynamic like N'Zoth.
Yeah, N'Zoth summons back 7 or 6 different ones, not just 1.
The only way I see this seeing play is if you are able to somehow cheat it out, like in that like a big rogue deck or something, But
It is an elemental. Can you cheat out elementals?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Like Geppetto, but like Geppetto.
Geppetto. But I mean, if you're doing that far to just get a good minion on board, I don't think so.
No, I think. I mean, for me, this is a. I'm gonna give it a 1. I do think that maybe a 2 if there's some bizarre way to like cheat it out, but I don't think that it's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Okay, next up, Blistering Rot. It is a rare 3-mana 1/2. At the end of your turn, summon a Rot with stats equal to this minion's.
Well, unfortunately, this minion doesn't have a tag, so it doesn't synergize with anything.
The only thing I see it possibly getting some play in is like your Token Druid type deck.
I think it's too slow.
But at 3 mana, like I'd rather be doing other stuff for 3 mana.
Yeah, Echoing.
Yeah, I mean, for 3 mana, right? Your 2 mana is that like gloop one, right?
Echoing
the
Ooze.
Other,
the 1/2,
yeah,
right?
the ooze.
Isn't it 1/2?
Yeah.
Yeah, Echoing Ooze is a 1/2.
So why would we play a 3 mana 1/2 when we could play a 1 mana 1/2?
Yeah, this one
Or
could
a 2 mana
snowball,
1/2.
but it's never going to.
No, I mean, yeah, no.
This is probably for standard, so we can move on.
Nate, what do you rate in the standard?
I rated a 1. All right, let's move on. Infectious Spoiling. It is a 1 mana rare. 1/2. After this damages a minion, turn it into an infectious spoiling.
I can't wait to see Raffle play this.
He most certainly will.
Yeah, I mean, wait. So if this damages a minion, then you turn that minion into a 1/2.
Yes, and then it has the same thing. You can do it right back to you.
Is there any spells or anything that makes a minion deal its damage to everything? Like you need like the mech tag for that, right?
This needs to have rush in order to be good.
Can you give a minion rush?
Yes.
Yeah, with the
In
lackey.
Warrior,
In Lackey?
with the lackey. Oh, that's even better. With the lackey.
With the Lackey and also in
This
Warrior.
is, no,
right?
this is going to see play. This is going to see play in Odd Rogue.
I
Because
wouldn't
Odd
be.
Rogue is running a ton of those lackeys.
I wouldn't
and all
be
of a sudden,
surprised.
that's how you get rid of Void Lords. You put there's a Void Lord in the way. You hit it with one of these with Rush.
Well, I mean, I think with the Lackeys also, if you give this thing taunt and then they're running stuff into it, right?
Shadow Flame deals the damage itself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What does Shadow Flame read?
I think Shadow Flame deals damage equal to a minion's attack. So that wouldn't work.
It's not coming from the minion.
Yeah, the only thing that does that is that mech, the magnetic mech. That's unfortunate.
I like this with the Lackeys. I mean, I still think it's a little fringe. It's very cute. It could blow up, though. I mean, it's a 2.
It's a
It's a
1
2 for me.
It's a real 1 for me.
I'm going to give it a 2. But
You guys are
hold on.
optimists.
So Shadow Flame actually reads: destroy a friendly minion and deal its attack damage to all enemy minions.
Yeah, so that might work.
But does it work with poison? Because if it was poison,
That would do the same thing. We might have to test this out later.
yeah.
Because that is, like, that would be really
if we
funny.
if we could turn the entire board into 1/2s, like that'd be pretty awesome. We'll have to test it.
Well, at that point, then we just see if poison works, right? Because then this, in theory, the same thing should happen with poison. If you, I've never Shadow Flamed a poison.
No, me neither. We have to try this later. Supreme Abyssal. 8 mana, 12/12 demon. Can't attack heroes.
Can't be played in wild.
Ooh. That's a 1.
Hey, wait, Silence Priest, guys.
All right, that's a 1. All right.
Yeah, it's a
Imprisoned Vile Fiend. It is a 2 mana common, 3/5 demon, dormant for 2 turns, rush.
It's a 1.
Yep.
Easy peasy. All right. Guardian Og Merchant. It is a 1 mana 2/1 battlecry. Deal 1 damage to a minion and give it Divine Shield. I think that this is interesting. I don't have a better word for it. The idea of giving something Divine Shield is cute, but I don't know that like maybe in Zoo I would play this.
Well, it's versatile.
Well, you got to think, right? You control when you play this. So imagine I have an 8/8 minion that survives. My opponent has an 8/8 as well. All of a sudden, I ping it with this, and then I trade my 8/8 into his 8/8. I lose the Divine Shield. His Divine Shield's his minion's dead, right?
Yeah.
And then it also
So-
has the application of just pinging a minion off, like when you have to. Right?
Yeah, you can use it as a one mana minion ping. You can do it as a normal ping.
This might not be bad in Warrior, actually, also, with, like, anything that has Enrage.
With any buff type things. This actually might be pretty good in Pirate Warrior, surprisingly. You put it on something with 3 health, right? You get that, what's the name of the Buccaneer that's 2 mana, 2/3, gain stats equal to your opponent's, or to your weapon?
Bloodsail Raider.
You get the Bloodsail Raider. All of a sudden, you put a Divine Shield on it?
Yeah, that's not bad. There's a few
That's
things
not
that
bad.
could go. I don't mind this at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that we'll make this work. I think I will give it a...
It kind of reminds me of Argent Squire, or no, Argent Commander, the 1 mana 2/1 back in the day. That gave a minion +2 attack.
Gotcha.
It reminds me of him before he got nerfed.
It's got to be in the right deck. I think that it's playable. I don't know how good. I am somewhere between a 2 and a 3.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
I think
I'm
a
gonna
2,
give it a 2 as well.
A 2 is comfortable. Yeah.
Like most
Alright.
zoo cards are a 2, right? The hero power helps a lot.
Okay, Felfin Navigator. It is a 4 mana 4/4 Murloc. Battle cry. Give your other Murlocs +1/+1.
It's a 1.
Yep.
Yeah, in the right deck, it's still not that good.
It's always
So-
a 1.
All right. Well, there we go. Disguised Wanderer. It is a common 4 mana 3/3 demon. Death Rattle. Summon a 9/1 Inquisitor. I don't see how that is good. I just
It's ridiculous, but it's a great flavor. I like the flavor of the card.
I like the artwork too, but I don't think it's good. I mean, just the health on the 9/1 is too low. It's so easy to kill that it's not good.
Yeah. It's going to get pinged down.
Yeah. All right. That's a 1. Okay. Overconfident Orc. It is a 3 mana 1/6 taunt. While at full health, it has +2 attack.
It's a 1.
No, I think this is a so you compare this with Tar Creeper, right?
Yeah.
Would you play Tar Creeper over this?
Yes. Every time. Just because if they hit you, if they have a half decent board, all they have to do is ping this or swing it with their face.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Tar Creeper probably is better.
Yeah, I
It's
think so
probably a
because
1.
this only has bonus attack when it's at full health.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It gives your
You know,
opponent so much control. For 1 extra health, I don't think it's worth it.
the only I'm going out on a limb here and saying maybe in like Divine Fire Priest, like combo Priest, maybe, but even then I don't think so.
Like it is
We'll
nice
see.
that you get to attack with it if it's at full health, but you don't want to attack with it really.
No, all right. Well,
I'm giving it a 1 myself.
I'll give it a 1 as well.
I am too.
All right. Rust Steed Raider. It is a 5 mana 1/8 taunt rush. Battle cry gain +4 attack this turn. So the turn you play
It's a
it,
5/8 rush.
yeah, 5/8 rush taunt for 5, but then it goes back to being a 1/8 taunt.
Like maybe.
Well, it's gonna have taken damage initially, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Odd Warrior, but I don't.
So this is much. So we had that 5/8 rush in Warrior based off of the mana cost, off the damage minions, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have had to gotten 3 discounts in order to get it like to this mana level. Like, I think this one's better, and I don't even think this is playable.
I wonder how Hobgoblin interacts with this. Not that it matters. Let's
Hobgoblin would put this at a 3/10, and then it gets the 4 attack because the battle cry comes in after it's been summoned on the board.
Well, broken then, confirmed.
Obviously, Hobgoblin Warrior coming back.
All right. I for me, this is still a 1. I don't see this being played.
Yeah, it's not good enough for me.
Yep.
All right. Bone Chewer Brawler. It is a 2 mana, 2/3 taunt. Whenever this takes damage, gain +2 attack.
So there's a neutral true drop that's
Armani.
and when this minion takes damage, get 3 attack.
Armani Berserker?
Yeah, Armani Berserker. And that does not see any play whatsoever.
Yeah.
It did for about 5 minutes in some like even Paladin deck a couple years back.
Yeah, so I remember it did when even Paladin was a thing.
Yeah, Call to Arms made 2 mana minions a lot better, turns out.
But,
We just didn't have it.
I think this is still a 1.
Yep.
All right. It is now midnight for you guys, right? Wow.
10 of. We got 10 minutes.
All right, let's do this. All right, Bone Chewer Vanguard, 7 mana for 10 taunt. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain +2 attack.
This is a beefy minion.
Yeah, and it's cumulative, so it could gain +2, +2, +2.
Is there an OTK with this?
Maybe in Warrior. But like, if I really wanted to try something like that, like Brazilla is better. There might be an OTK because you can in Warrior you would ping your own stuff, and you can give it +2, +2, +2. But like even then, I don't think you get high enough.
No.
Because at the most, like, okay, you could get it up to a 10/10 maybe, but like, I could get a 7 mana 10/10 easier.
Like, the highest you're ever getting this is 22 attack.
If I really wanted to do something crazy, then I just play the Warrior charge. What is it? The 4/10 Hellscream.
Yeah.
And ping it for a 10/10 with charge. Like, I'd rather do that.
I don't think this card sees play in any deck.
No, I don't think so
I
either.
kinda
No,
like
I was just trying to, I
art.
was hypothesizing.
Yeah, I mean, someone will play it in some budget deck somewhere, but I don't think it's good enough.
Not
to
us,
see
because
play.
we're whales.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I give it a 1.
Yep.
1.
All right, Dragon Maw Sky Stalker, 6 mana, 5/6 dragon, Death Rattle. Summon a 3/4 Dragon Rider.
Boo.
Now this card. So this card. Hold on a second.
Okay,
Before
okay.
Before you freak out on this card, what's the stat line of Savannah Highmane?
6 mana, 6/5.
6 mana, 6/5 that summons 2/2/2s. I would argue that a 3/4 is better than 2/2/2s.
I would argue
Yes.
Savannah
And this is a
Hymane's
dragon.
bad.
Not if you can pull it out from your hand for free.
That's true.
Not if you can discount it in Paladin with the dragon tag.
Ooh. Bring it back with N'Zoth later.
This
I'm gonna give this one a 2 just because I have a feeling that there's a little bit more behind this card because it feels like there's a mid-range perspective of it.
Okay.
I could see this. I could see this being played in like a Reno Dragon Priest. The value is not bad.
If you put this in a Reno Dragon Priest, I don't want you playing that deck anymore. Kidding, of course.
I like the flavor. This is I still think it's probably a 2.
This is the easiest one I've given all night.
All right. This next card, I actually like this one. Burrowing Scorpid. It's a 4 mana 5/2 beast. Battlecry, deal 2 damage. If it kills the target, gain stealth. I think this is spicy.
This is sneaky good, I think.
I like it. I'm not quite sure how good it is yet, but I think it's at least a 3. I really like the idea of, hey, you kill something and then they can't kill it. Like,
And
that's
you're
great.
rewarded pretty big. Like, a 5/2 stealth is nothing to gawk at. Or whatever that expression is. I think this is better than a lot of people are going to give it credit. I don't know if it's good enough to see play, but maybe in like a even hunter. Danny, you've been playing a bunch of even hunters. Is too slow. It goes face.
It is a beast. It does have the beast tag that helps.
And it goes face.
I don't even think it's that
This
bad.
is probably what about
even
Is
Shaman.
this too
Even
slow
Shaman.
for Shaman?
It's not bad.
For even Shaman?
Yeah,
What about even Shaman?
I would put it in even
I
Shaman.
think even Shaman's really tight, though.
No, it's even
On that
Shaman.
4 mana slot, probably.
Yeah, but even Shaman has been shifting lately to that token or the totem build of it. Like, I like this. I will try it. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be good, but I will try it in even Shaman.
Don't put it in your totem build, though.
I'll put it in my beast even Shaman.
I'm giving it a
Merc Spark Eel is a beast.
yes.
Hey, that's true.
I'm giving this a 2, and I hope that it sees some play because it would be cool that if we called it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 as well.
I'm going to give it a 3. I like it.
Oh wow, Nate's really fucking going out there. I like it, Nate.
Yeah, you know it. Okay. Soulbound Ash Tongue. It is a 1 mana 1/4. Whenever this minion takes damage, also deal that amount to your hero.
This is good
How is
Is
this
it?
good?
because it's a 1 mana 1/4.
I think that there's some synergy here with some of the Demon Hunter cards. When you take damage, you draw stuff or something like that.
Yeah, or like Warlock that loves taking damage, and it's a
Or
one.
the one that gains 2 mana crystals for when you take damage.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. There's some synergy here.
Well, there's been
I'm a little-
synergy for taking damage forever, and it's a 1 mana 1/4. Like that's never happened before.
What would you play it in though?
Zoo,
Yeah, you'd play this in Zoo.
Yeah,
and like
okay.
maybe you put it.
Especially
No,
because you're gonna start getting. So if you start trading, you immediately get. Does it refresh the mana crystals? Or
it refreshes. Yes.
either way, you play 2 mana worth of stuff. You hit it, you play 2 more mana, right?
Yeah, and it has it synergizes with Hobgoblin.
It does. You could go Hobgoblin Zoo. That was a thing for a while.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
But like, I
you're
don't
not
think
wrong.
1 mana 1/4 is so much better than a 1 mana 1/3. Like it's huge, and then you have 2 1-drops that damage yourself between Crystallizer, and Flame Imp. So you can quickly start getting damage on yourself with this deck.
Yeah, this card is perfect for Blizzlets. How quickly can you kill yourself with your own minions deck?
Yeah, but it's also I think I will be shocked if this card sees no play.
I can see it in a Zoo deck, but like nobody's playing Zoo.
No, that's
I don't know.
true, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
This might this might see play in Odd Rogue, because Odd Rogues don't care about their health.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill you.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's a 2. I think it's a 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. Myself.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
I respect you guys. I do.
Scavenging Shivara. It is a 6 mana 6/3 demon. Battlecry. Deal 6 damage randomly split among all other minions.
I think it's awful.
I don't think it's nearly
This
as
is a worse Reno Jackson.
a lot worse. I give it a 1.
Yeah, me too.
And if we wanted a similar effect, the one in Warlock is just better.
Yes.
It's at the end of the turn, but it's different anyways.
oh,
That's a 1
Demon
for me.
Hunter, right?
I don't remember. Is it? Yeah, I
Yes,
think it is
Demon
Demon
Hunter.
Hunter. Okay, Ethereal Og Merchant. It is a 1 mana 2/1 Battlecry. Deal 1 damage to a minion and give it spell damage +1.
This is another card that I think is cool. Maybe it's too much to work for, but like it seems like this card just says like, "Hey, you want your Defile to work?" You know?
Actually,
Like
I don't think you're wrong. Although I don't know that I have room in any of my Warlock decks to put this.
that's the problem.
I like that idea though.
That is the big problem.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 1.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 1. It's. Anyways, yeah. Okay. Rustworn Cultist. It is a 4 mana 3/3 Battlecry. Give your other minions Death Rattle. Summon a 1/1 demon. I don't want to give my other minions that. Death
I want to
Rattle.
resurrect my demons. I don't want to bring back 1/1s.
No. Yes, this is a 1 for me.
Yeah, there was a time back in the day where this might have seen play in Token Druid, but those days have passed.
Yeah. Okay. Rocket Og Merchant. This is a 1 mana 2/1 Battlecry. Do 1 damage to a minion and give it rush.
This is a bit of a theme, eh?
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
this
Three of
card.
them. I think the Divine Shield one is the best one.
Oh, the Divine Shield one is way better.
Yeah, you don't want to commit 2 cards to trade for 1 minion.
No, yeah. Yeah, I give this a 1 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Rustworn Initiate is a 2-mana 2/2 Death Rattle. Summon a 1/1 Imp Caster with spell damage +1.
This is interesting.
I don't.
Why wouldn't you just play spell damage straight up?
Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing
Well,
this
and
stuff.
we don't play spell damage cards anyways, so
I mean, Thalnos has... Blood Mage Thalnos has spell damage.
I would play Thalnos over this card any day, hands down.
Of course. I know. I'm just... You were just saying we don't play cards with
Oh,
spell
no,
damage.
I'm sorry.
There is one
yes.
card we play in the entire game, and it's Blood Mage Thalnos.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this
You're
card
comparing
sucks.
this with Blood Mage Thalnos. What world are you on?
No, yeah, okay.
And then
All right.
even like a direct, like I'd rather play Tainted Zealot than this. This card stinks.
Yeah, okay. I already moved on.
Yeah.
Okay, Terror Guard Escapee. It is a 3-mana 3/7 demon. Battlecry, summon 3 1/1 Huntresses for your opponent.
This card stinks.
Well, I don't like it. The Battlecry is terrible, but this is not a super bad one to get as, like, if I pulled it from
Evolve.
cheated it out somehow, or get it
Yeah.
like
If you're
like if I
wasting your
pull-
time cheating this out, we're gonna have an intervention.
I'd rather be cheating out 12 12s that cost 4.
Yes, I agree. If
This
would
is your.
not be a
This is a budget. This is for budget Q block or something.
this is not a bad one to get off.
When
of,
you really hate Big Priest.
Yeah.
no, but this is not a bad one to get off of Evolve.
Yeah, that's true.
A 3-mana 3/7 from Evolve would be okay.
Yeah.
I'll never play this card on purpose, but I'll be happy if I get it.
Oh,
randomly.
this is some Demon Hunter flavor here because it's a demon that's summoning huntresses.
Oh yeah. All right.
Does this go with the Demon Hunter class? Does this you have these rush boys, the little 1/1 rushes that come down, and all of a sudden you get the 3/7 if you have some of those tokens left over from earlier.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, it's cashing in on your other stuff. I guess that's where it's coming from.
Yeah,
It's still not good enough to see play, but I think that's a justification.
Yeah.
I like the art, and that's about the best I've got for this.
Cool. I'd rather play the taunt guy from War. Anyway, let's go. Sorry.
All right, this is our last card.
Really?
It is.
Yeah.
All right, Frozen Shadow Weaver, 3-mana 4/3, Battlecry, freeze an enemy. This is the freeze shaman support that we always wanted.
I think this does have some uses, though. I think that there's some utility to this one. I'm going to give this one a 2, just because I think that there will be some tech moment when this is actually useful. Like, freezing an enemy that used to only exist in Shaman, right? Now that it's open to everyone, like, you look at how... whatchamacallit, when you're ever playing Shudderwock Shaman, you're running the 2 freezes. You're running the Glacial one, and then
Glacial
sometimes
Shard.
even the Murloc one in that deck. Mostly because you get it back off of Shudderwock, but you are running them in a control deck. I wouldn't be surprised if this does see play at some point in some sort of Reno.
I love the art.
I would put this in a Reno Shudderwock Shaman.
You guys, can I tell you something fun and interesting?
What?
This is officially the longest set review the 3 of us have ever done.
6 hours, 20 minutes we're at.
Yeah, 6 hours. That's an hour longer than last time. And we had... Who else did we have on that
Get
one?
Meowth, I believe.
We had Get Me Out, too.
Yeah, but we did
Wow.
review like 30 or 40 more cards than usual.
Yeah. So do we want to look at the stats here?
Yes, we should.
All right, this one. Why does this not... Hold on.
And I do think one day, towards the end of, like, before the next set comes out, we should have Danny back on to see where we...
Yeah, let's do a review of the review,
Yeah.
where we say how wrong we are.
For sure.
Okay. So for classes, I'm going to exclude Demon Hunter from this. We gave it a 2.87, as it's the highest class that we have. Let's start with the lowest one. The lowest class we rated was Paladin at 1.4.
Prize.
Shaman is next in the lead at 1.6. Then we have Warrior at a 2. Oh, no, yeah, Warrior at a 2. Then we had the Druid at 1.66. I can't do math today. Priest was a 2.16. Mage was a 2.53. Hunter was a 2.56. And Rogue topped it off with the best cards at a 2.76. And then our neutrals were a 1.74, but you really can't compare that.
No, the neutrals.
And then I also have the stats for how we rated cards.
Okay.
So which one of us three do you think was the most optimistic?
I think Nate Wolfe was.
Nate Wolfe was. He rated on average a card at 2.20.
And then I think I was
In the middle
second.
of the pack, we have Craig rating everything at a 2.13. And then we have me reporting everything at a 2.10.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah, we're fairly consistent in our results.
Okay, it's getting kind of late, but what are our top 10 cards? Can you do that?
10. I'm giving you my top 3.
Yeah, that seems better.
No, I mean,
like
can you sort? I mean, can you sort your?
Sort here. Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
If you can sort by score?
Evocation.
How do I do that on Google Sheets?
Let me look.
Sort sheet A to Z. Yes. All right. Our top 5 cards: Maeve Shadow Song, Terran Gorefiend, Kel'Thuz's Sunstrider, Paladin the Breaker, Evocation, the Lion, Mach Nathal Lion, Kane's Sun Fury, and Spectral Sight.
Cool.
So 3 neutral cards, a Warlock card, a Mage card, a Hunter card, and 2 Demon Hunter cards.
Very cool.
And then let's we can't do the lowest one because we gave that to more than half the field.
I'm very happy for duplicate protection. I'll tell you that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we should have added a 0 for those certain cards. Maybe next time. So I guess, Danny, where can our lovely listeners find you?
They will. They can't find me after this because I've talked way too much.
Can I go hibernate?
But you
for a
can
week?
find me on Twitter at DannyDonuts_HS.
Very good.
Oh,
And
fuck.
I also do the Well Met podcast,
Guys.
And in the wild, yes.
I wasn't recording. I'm just
I hate
kidding.
you.
Little joke. Sorry. Well met podcast, Danny, is I think it's my Coin Concedes up there, but Well Met was in the group of the first 3 podcasts, along with Hearth Coach and I can't remember the other one at this point. It might have been Legends of the Innkeeper. And Well Met is the only one that I still listen to weekly. Never missed an episode. I remember when you first started hosting it. So I just
it's a fun time.
I just wanted to throw that out there. And it's nice because it's one of the only podcasts out there that touches on Wild because of you. And I just couldn't recommend it more to anyone who wants to kind of see what Standard's doing, but also get to still hear Danny talk Wild.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. It's always good to...
it was fun. I wouldn't have wanted to spend 6.5 hours doing anything else.
We had some laughs. We told some lies. We had a good time. Nate,
All right.
They can find me at Craig of Canada. That's CRAIG of Canada. And where else can they find? Where can they find you, Nate? And more importantly, the show.
So they can find me at Nate Wolfe TCG on Twitter, and then the show. More importantly, they can find at Born to Be Wild Pod or at Born to Be Wild HS on Twitter, on YouTube at youtube.com/Born to Be Wild Podcast. You can email the show if you want at borntobewildhs@gmail.com. You can also DM us on Twitter. I think that's pretty much it. Most of the content is either Twitter or YouTube at this point.
Yeah, that's basically it. So we can probably say goodbye to everyone as long as nothing unexpected comes up. Like, I don't think that'll happen, but... And now, unrelated advice. with Nate Wolfe. Nate, it's not often that I sit down at a computer chair for 6.5 hours with two of my favorite people to discuss a children's card game, but when I do, I find myself exhausted and questioning a little bit of what I do with my time. So, what helps you justify your hobbies to your family?
The only way to justify this is like a once every 4-month occurrence.
I can tell you I'm really happy that my girlfriend's not coming back for a couple more days because she would have been so disappointed in me tonight.
Yeah, it's been a long night.
And Danny?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, what about you, man? What does anyone know that you were doing this tonight?
Not really. That's why I don't have to justify it to anyone.
Wiser words have never been spoken, and you heard that
Yeah.
on Born to be Wild.